Hey guys, and welcome to the Gut Life Podcast. This is, I believe, let me check, this is episode 72 of the Gut Life Podcast. And you're like, oh my god, Bish, where have you been? It's been like 6 months. What is going on? I've actually been hibernating for like 6 months. Our last episode was with the lovely people at NIS America, and we actually recorded that in October, and it's now May. So yay! I'm sorry about lack of content, but we did actually record some stuff with some really awesome people, which I can't say at the moment. So yeah, there was content that was supposed to come out during this kind of 6 month. I'm joined with a special guest. Introduce yourself, guest.
Hello, my name's Joe, and I'm just as weird as everybody on this podcast.
Okay, I never understood that, but you know, there's only 2 people on this podcast right now. Oh my god. So yeah, Joe is this guy I found on Twitter. That doesn't sound any more creepier than it gets.
You just found me?
Yeah, just found him.
It's like, this guy. He should definitely be on our podcast.
Just found this random guy. No, I'm joking. He's actually, if you guys know, I'm going to do a shameless plug-in now. If you guys know GALP Kunai, which you have to go and check it out, because it's amazing. Kevin was like, oh man, this is the guy, Joe, that I know. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm following him on Twitter. Seems kind of cool. And then I read his bio, and it's like, oh, he's a Nintendo guy. Okay.
Wow, thanks.
It's fine. But that's the thing. For me, I'm not really a big fan of Nintendo, and I don't think I ever will. That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, personally, I grew up with Nintendo, so like I've been faithful with them. Like, I've really loved like everything they've like sent out, and it's just been great. So, and like, but at the same time, like they have like that kind of charm that not everybody likes. So it's like, it really depends on your preferences.
For me, it's not that I don't like Nintendo, it's the fact that Nintendo haven't done anything that has impressed me recently. So what I mean by that is, back in the day, it was like, yeah, Nintendo, yeah! And there was like, oh, Super Mario, and you had Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, and it was cool and it was fun. But then it lost its appeal after a while, because, you know, Sony were doing some really cool stuff, and Microsoft, and the whole Call of Duty thing came along, and it's kind of lost its kind of touch. And I've always kind of, especially throughout this generation of gaming and the last generation of gaming, I felt that Nintendo kind of appealed more to the family type people and to kids, really. And people tend to hate it when I say, oh yeah, it's just a kiddie's console, and it's true, it is. What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, I can agree with like what you're saying about how it's like a family friendly console, because like I was looking into like their history, and like I kind of grew up with it. Like the Wii was like advertised as like a family-friendly console, where like anybody can play games on it, and it's like it was mostly like games that were like it's like for all these different kids and like all these teenagers and stuff. It wasn't really anything like mature.
Yeah, that's completely true.
Yeah, and like I'll also admit that like it's like they haven't like blown anyone's minds as much as they used to. But like I feel like 2014, it's like it kind of like changed my thoughts about that. It was like 2014, they were like throwing out the big guns, like they were throwing out like new IPs, like Splatoon that's coming out late May.
I saw that at E3, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's Splatoon!" And I was like, "It's just a game where you're squids and you're shooting out ink," and that kind of sounds really. If you described it to someone else without showing the gameplay, they would think it's some sort of weird hentai. Like, that's what I thought. I was like, you turn into a squid, and you got tentacles, and you're shooting ink guns. That's creepy.
Yeah, to be honest, when I first saw the trailer, I was already expecting the Rule 34 to come out.
And I'm not sure if there is. I'll actually check now.
But besides the point, it's like it wasn't just the fact that like it looked fun and stuff. It was the fact that like Nintendo was trying something new, because because this is like something Nintendo's like never really done before, and like they have all these other projects that they show off, like Project Robot or like.
I'm sorry to stop you there, Joe, but there is actually a Splatoon Rule 34.
I'm sorry, that doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah, it exists. It exists, and I don't want to see it anymore. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's the side of the internet that you should just stay off of.
Yeah, but still, it's kind of interesting how they can kind of sexualize anything, especially on the internet. It's a kids game, and it's like, yeah, no. For me, it's like
just giving it to them.
It's creepy at the end of the day, especially if it's a kids game. Like when I see like that Sonic stuff, that Sonic Rule 34, it's like, no, you're ruining my childhood. No.
if you ever bring that up, like, I don't think I can talk to you again. I don't want to be reminded of that. Sonic Rule 34 is, like, sore.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back into Nintendo. There was one thing that I was kind of disappointed with in terms of Nintendo's games and stuff, because their launch titles were cool. I was a big fan of, for the Wii U, they had like some really nice launch titles. They had Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, that was cool. They also had like Ninja Gaiden, Razor's Edge, which was cool, and a few other games. But the thing is, I felt that at least the third-party titles were not really new. They weren't new IPs at all. They were just like...
Yeah, it was like ports that were like wanted in with
they were just games that were ported with extra features. Like, for me, Koei, like, I know Tecmo Koei are always, or now it's known as Koei Tecmo. This is how long I haven't done the podcast for. They've changed their name. Anyway, so Koei Tecmo have always been known for doing, like, launch titles for, like, every system. And I thought at least their launch titles for the Wii U would be good. But no, they're just existing ports of other games with other characters. And I was disappointed at least with Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, because there was potential to put Link in that game. In a hack-and-slash game. And bear in mind, they've done it in Japan with Dynasty Warriors Versus on the 3DS. So they already got the movesets ready. So I was thinking, yes, this could have been a game changer. And then probably this would have been a game for me to buy a Wii U for. But, they did Hyrule Warriors afterwards, so I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I kind of agree with you in that, because like the launch lineup was disappointing. Like Wii U sold like a lot and like when it first launched, but after that, like nothing, like it wasn't selling. It's like it had like that huge like drought, like that month-long drought. Not month-long, like months. It took months for it to get like actual games.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. It's like I would say it's another problem with that happened with the Wii as well. Like, I feel that third-party developers don't know what to do with Nintendo's gimmicks.
Yeah, as long as like the Wii sold though, like it wasn't really a failure. It's just that they need.
No, it wasn't a failure. The Wii was great and it sold loads. But the thing is, it was mainly because of the first-party titles that they was releasing. You got Mario Kart Wii, you had Super Smash Brawl, you had tons of games.
Well, it was the fact that it was all it was like innovative, because it was like the first, like nobody ever saw like motion controls on the controller before.
That's the thing for me. As a kid, when I got it in 2006, so that's almost like 10 years ago. So for me, it was like, oh my god, this is amazing! And then after a while, it's like, meh. It's like,
it's just kind of like a gimmick. I kind of want to get back to like.
It's kind of like Xbox Connect. It's the same thing, but I fell for those gimmicks. So
yeah. But like the thing is, after like Pikmin 3, which came out in August of 2013, I believe. Like Super Mario 3D World came out, and then what year did Mario Kart come out? 2014 or 2013?
I'm not quite sure.
I think it was 2014. And but yeah, like it then started getting good games. Like Bayonetta 2 came out, and then Donkey Kong came out, and then like it just started like more games came out, and then like then it was becoming a better console, and like it started to come to the point where it's like I can't buy all these games. Like, I really want Hyrule Warriors. I really want Bayonetta 2, and like I really want Captain Toad, but I can't buy them because like I don't have any money.
Okay, the thing is, there's certain titles that I don't really understand, and okay, cool. It's kind of cool that Nintendo are doing them, like Yoshi's Woolly World and the whole Captain Toad thing, but I can't really get invested in them. I would say Hyrule Warriors, for me, is amazing, because when they did that, I was like, oh my god, you're answering my prayers, Nintendo. It's like, oh yeah, Miyamoto-san, yeah! I was getting really excited, and I think that would have been the game for me to buy a Wii U, but then I got to a point where I was like, I'm really hyped for Hyrule Warriors, but at the same time, I'll wait a bit. And I waited, and I saw gameplay and whatnot. Gameplay seems cool, and it seems like it might be Nintendo's kind of cash cow in the future. They will probably do sequels and such, like every other Musou game, like One Piece, Pirate Warriors. They had like 3 games now, and like Gundam has like 4 games. It's crazy. And probably Zelda Muso will be the same as well. I think they're going to get like consistent sequels. But yeah, I think that was a game that kind of wanted me to get the Wii U, but that, to be honest, like I mentioned before, 4 games isn't really going to convert me over to Nintendo.
Alright, well, yes, that makes sense, but like at the same time, you're kind of missing out. But like, but I'm not going to judge. Like, it's like, that's just your opinion. Like, you aren't like, it's just, they're not going to like force you to buy a system that you don't want.
And another thing is with the Wii U, I'm not sure if if it applies to the Wii U or not, but I know with the 3DS, Nintendo are like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this only, like, you can only use it in your country. Not only use it in your country, was it? You can't import games.
Oh, you mean like it's region locked?
Yeah, region locked. That's the word.
Yeah,
that pissed me off.
Yeah, that's really stupid. Like, I don't see why they do it. Like, I want to play like Taiko Drum Master games on, like, my Wii U and 3DS, but like, I can't play them.
But that's the thing that honestly pisses me off. There's a larger, like, game library in Japan. Like, there's tons of games, like tons of indie games that haven't been released overseas, and a ton of dating simulators and otome games and bishoujo games that haven't been released overseas, obviously because of their sexual nature and whatnot. So I think we're kind of missing out a lot in the West, and I feel that if Nintendo kind of said, hey, you know what, let's take off that region lock, I feel that they would have made more money. But I feel that they're hanging themselves by doing that, because Sony hasn't done that, and Sony are freaking boss. Not all the time, but I like them.
Yeah, I love Sony. They're great. But like, what was I gonna say? It's like Nintendo. I think Nintendo's afraid. Like they say it's stupid, but like they made a statement like a while back about how like why they didn't want to do region locking. How I read it, it was basically like they didn't want like younger audiences to play like these imported games. But at the same time, it's like what's I don't see a problem with that. Like, what's not a reason? Because it's like,
exactly. But that's the thing. Why is Nintendo trying to be all family friendly and whatnot? I know I understand that's their image. But if we think about Nintendo as a company beforehand, they used to be a love hotel. Nintendo used to be a love hotel, which is messed up.
Like, they've 2014 was like, when I said 2014 was a really important year for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like, it showed Nintendo, it was kind of like, it was like, I looked at the games they're announcing and all this kind of stuff, and then I'm questioning, I'm confused because it's like they don't sound like as family friendly. Like, they were like, it's like they sounded like they were, like, they listened to their audiences, and like they weren't like trying to promote like this family friendly thing. Like, they still do that, but like I feel like at this point it isn't as much of a focus as it was before, because like they have said like in the past like they're now gonna focus on the core audience. Like somebody has said that. Like, so it's like they're gonna focus on like what like the core audience wants, and then like they're gonna.
But like, do you think it's too late for Nintendo?
I do think it's like pretty late, because like they could have won so many other people, and like now like they're really hated by some people, and like they're being victimized by trolls and stuff. I think, well, not like in the sense where it's like people talk trash about them.
And I feel that it's another thing is that Nintendo are kind of going back on what they said before. Like, for me, especially in the past months, it seems that Nintendo are extremely desperate. The reason I say that is because, you know, Nintendo said before that they wouldn't have like mobile games and stuff, and now they've teamed up with one of the biggest mobile games developers, you know, the same people that made the Final Fantasy Record Keeper game. I forgot the name of the thing, but anyway, they teamed up with them, and now Nintendo are possibly gonna have like mobile games, which for me it's like really, Nintendo? And then the whole amiibo thing pissed me off. And on top of that, Nintendo hinted at a new console, and it's like, what? No, the Wii U hasn't really even picked up yet, and you're already talking about new console. Good job, Nintendo.
You gotta think. You can't just look at it blindly. You gotta think of that. Like, mobile games. They said they weren't gonna bring like their games like to mobile, like their fully fleshed out Nintendo games to mobile. They just they didn't say that they weren't gonna bring like games, so they could bring like little games, like kind of like little demos or something, and like they could like kind of like a thing to like encourage people to buy Nintendo consoles, because that's what they stated. It's like they want to use like the mobile platform to try to like convince people.
Yeah, but if you have to use the mobile platform to pretty much sell your console, then I don't feel that you're doing it right. Because, you know, Sony and Xbox don't have that issue.
No, it's
Why
kind of
is Nintendo like that?
It's kind of like side advertising.
Yeah, but for me, advertisements piss me off. Like, I don't want to be playing a mobile game and it's clearly an advertisement for Nintendo. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Nintendo won't make it blatant like that, but the fact that they said that, to me, feels like, Nintendo, really? Like, you really think that you can win me over like that? I think Nintendo really need to rethink about how they're...
Well, you gotta think... Well, some people don't think that way. That's like, you gotta think about that. It's like, some people, like, love mobile games. And, like,
True.
if they play, and, like, they're gonna buy Nintendo consoles, like, all opinions are different. It's like, it just depends on the person.
I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, Nintendo really should have thought about it. Like, in my personal opinion, like, people that are listening, don't take it out as if I hate Nintendo. I respect Nintendo completely, and this is just my opinion. And what I think that Nintendo should have done was that they should have been like, hey, you know what? We should have released the Wii U instead of the Wii. Do you know what I mean? Like, in terms of timeline. And then had the Wii U competing with the Xbox 360 and the PS3, because the Wii U is just as powerful. I think even slightly more powerful than the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So,
exactly. That's what I want to talk about. Like, if they basically... Okay, so think about it. The Xbox 360, the PS3, let's just think in numbers, like, they went up by 1. The Wii U went up, like, the Wii went from the Xbox 360 and PS3 went to the Xbox One and PS4 by 1. Let's just think of it like that. Mm-hmm. The Wii to the Wii U, it went up by 1.5. So if you think like that, like, once the PS4 and Xbox One go up by, like, their next console, then the Wii U will probably go up by another, like, 0.5. So the end will probably be, like, equal with, like, the competition in some way.
Yeah, that's the thing that is disappointing me, really, because the PS4 is almost up to 2 years. Like, in December this year, it'll be up to 2 years of lifespan. Same with Xbox One. And those consoles tend to be... They're going to last a decade. At least that's what Microsoft and Sony are saying. They're going to at least last a decade. And I don't know when Nintendo are going to plan on doing their new console. Whether they're going to be announcing it on E3, I don't know.
They said they're going to try to they're going to reveal some information next year, like E3 2016, I think.
See, by then it would already be like 4 years. Well, and actually, no, is it? No, it will be 3 years, and then by the time it comes out, it would be 4 years, maybe 5 years. By that time, you've already kind of half that. You're 5 years late, basically, which is disappointing.
Well, no, it's not coming out next year. It's going to be more information is going to be revealed next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. By the time it actually releases, the Xbox One and the PS4 would have been 5 years old. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but like I think they commented. They said like it's not like supposed to replace like the Wii U or like 3DS or anything. They just said it was going to be like a dedicated gaming console, and that's it. They didn't like say anything else. Like, so like they're not trying to replace anything. They're just like expanding, I think. So like because they could be the NX could be anything. It's all up to our imaginations. But like if it's definitely not going to be like a replacement, then we got to think about like what it could be. Like could it like?
I've never heard of a kind of console, like a dedicated gaming console that you plug into your TV, not to be a replacement of the previous generation. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but like it really depends. Well, we can talk about like maybe next year. Like next year, like we have to wait because we can't just assume stuff and like.
Yeah, true. But like I'm saying, if it's kind of going on the way it's going on now, I feel that Nintendo, in my opinion, they're going downhill, and I feel that they're going to have to use more gimmicks. And I'm wondering, what is this new console's gimmick? You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, they haven't like. Have you looked at like the newest Wii games recently?
No.
They haven't like fully taken advantage of like the gamepad and stuff. So I think they're kind of like assuming that. I think it's kind of like they have the mindset that people don't care that much about the gimmicks, so they're using it a lot less. Or at least that's what I think. And like that's pretty much it.
One thing that obviously I'm kind of, I would say not confused about, but Oh, I don't know how to explain it.
Just in your mind.
Shit. Nintendo for me, it's like, it's. I'm not hating on Nintendo, like I said before, but they're late to the game, and so they have to rely on these gimmicks to keep it fresh. And I feel that if they do kind of lose their uniqueness and go with the whole, next gen console, PS4, Xbox One type thing, then it could possibly lose its appeal. But at the same time, I want to see next gen, like we still haven't seen a new Legend of Zelda on the Wii U yet.
What are you talking about?
No, we've seen Hyrule Warriors, but that doesn't really count. I mean, like a new dedicated Legend of Zelda game, like that open one, the open kind of world one that they showed at E3, which kind of got so many people hyped. And then they said, you know what? The first game on Wii U Legend of Zelda game is going to be Hyrule Warriors. That pissed off a lot of people, and it excited a lot of people because it got a lot of people into the franchise, and it got a lot of people into Nintendo. I know a lot of people within the Koei Tecmo community, the KT family, who are like, yeah, we need to get this game. This is amazing. It's like Dynasty Warriors and Legend of Zelda. And then it kind of got people who were never necessarily into Legend of Zelda into the series. And it got people who weren't necessarily into Dynasty Warriors into that series as well. So it was kind of nice crossover, which I enjoyed. But I mean that it was kind of a middle finger to the Legend of Zelda community. And I'm not sure.
I don't understand. It's like the Legend of Zelda needs time. Like you can't just expect it to come just because
it does. But at the same time, it's I don't know. It feels disappointing that if Nintendo are going to do a new console and then they're like, hey, this is the new Legend of Zelda thing. I'm like, oh, okay. So why should I buy you a new console when I can just play the new Legend of Zelda game on the Wii U? That's how I feel at the moment. And the thing is, are we actually going to get it on the Wii U? Or are Nintendo kind of just like, okay, we have this new console thing planned, we just might as well do it as a launch title for that?
No, it's going to come. It's going to come on Wii U. They already said it's coming to Wii U.
Okay.
They make these they plan like the new consoles and stuff like way in advance. So like if they say it's going to be a Wii U, that's definitely going to be on Wii U.
Okay.
Maybe it'll be ported. Like maybe they'll have like a port for like the new console.
Maybe. I think
so. It's not gonna the Wii U's still gonna get the game.
I think it might, as you said, it might be ported. It might be like a Last of Us type thing. How you have Last of Us and then Last of Us Remastered. Which for Sony, I don't know why you did that. That pissed me off. Why didn't you just release Last of Us on the PS4? That would have made more sense. But okay, I understand, Sony. Just screw you. Actually, Sony, if you're listening to this, don't listen to what I said. Just forget about it. I said that in anger, Sony. Don't listen to that. I love you, Sony. Sony. Listen to me, Sony. I love you.
We love you, Sony. You've given me Danganronpa, and
it wasn't really Sony that gave you Danganronpa. It was Spike Chunsoft.
And it's America that translated it and brought it to America.
NIS America are amazing people. And that kind of brings me on to the next bit of this podcast, this next segment. It's pretty much regarding the PS Vita and 3DS. Obviously, I brought you on because I know you have both. I personally don't, and I want to see if you can kind of convince me to get a 3DS, and I'm going to convince the public, obviously, to get a PlayStation Vita, because I know Kevin, he was like, yeah, I'm going to get a PlayStation Vita, and I was like, yes, Kevin, you need one. You really need one. And he still hasn't got one. And Kevin, if you're listening, get a PlayStation Vita right now.
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with you, Kevin?
Exactly, Kevin. We're calling you out on this podcast. And if you don't have one by the next Kunai episode, well, it's going to be raised.
We're taking you out. You're being erased from the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I have my PlayStation Vita right now. Obviously, I got my Vita 2 years... Actually, no, not 2 years. Actually, yeah, I got it 2 years after its initial release. So I got it in the same year that the new PlayStation Vita came out, I think. 1 month before the new PlayStation Vita came out, and I got the original one, 3G, which is awesome. But no one actually uses 3G on these systems anymore. That's why they don't sell them in 3G, because who the hell needs a 3G portable console? I never understood that.
Yeah, I got my Vita last year. I got the slim model, and I really like it. It's nice.
The thing is, the difference between, obviously, for people that don't necessarily know, the difference between the slim model is that you have larger pads at the back for your hands, and you have a smaller kind of touchpad at the back. You got an LCD screen instead of a OLED screen. And what else you got? You got
later.
You don't have the secret port, this mystery port on the Vita anymore. You got a 1 gig storage inbuilt there, and that's mainly used for I would say game installs, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe updates or something like that
and stuff. Like I think memory cards are like to store into games, and like the 1 gigabytes for data.
Oh yeah, probably. What else did they have on the new? Oh yeah, also micro USB.
Yeah, and has better batteries.
It only has 1 hour better battery life, but the reason I don't think that's like Sony being like, I don't think it's a main selling point for Sony, because they only have that 1 hour extra battery life because they've ditched the OLED screen.
Yeah, because like the OLED, like it looked beautiful, but it took took power.
It's only 1 hour difference, and to be honest, on the OLED screen, I'm using it at the lowest brightness, and it's super bright. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm, the dark colors are really dark, and the light colors are just really nice and vibrant looking. And I've compared both Vitas, and I feel that yes, if you really want a PlayStation Vita, go for the original. Go for it, because
if you can find one,
you can still find one pre-owned or import from Japan. My personal opinion, importing from Japan is much cheaper, and you can get them in different colors. That's another thing.
Slim. It's a Slim that has like all different colors.
No, it's the original one as well. Because Japan had special editions. They had a Tokiden PlayStation Vita, which had on the rear back pad of the Vita, on the rear touchpad, they had special artwork, and obviously you had like I'm not sure if you had special Final Fantasy ones, and you had like other games pretty much. You also had the Hatsune Miku one for the Project Diva F. Which was amazing, and its retail price is £500 in the UK. So that's about $800. Would I say no? $700 American.
Well, I personally prefer the Slim, because it's like, even though you have the LCD instead of OLED, like the games still look beautiful. Like game looks, they do. But like it depends on like if you want like all like the special editions and stuff, then try to find an original. But like if you kind of like want like a more simpler model, then get the Vita, and like and if you try to get a Vita, don't even bother getting the bundle. But if it's the same price, you can get it.
No,
but like
I agree. One thing is that I'm a big advocate of importing, because if you buy one, let's say from GameStop or whatever, what is the retail price? It's like $200 maybe, or $150 or so. I don't know. What would you say?
I don't know. I think maybe it's like 150, maybe 200.
Yeah, and in the UK it's like £150, right? So if you were to import from Japan, that would cost me. It's cheaper, especially in the UK. It would cost you about £120. Yeah, so that's crazy. That's a crazy price difference, and you get a unique PlayStation Vita. Like you can roll with one of them green ones if you really wanted to, and you can theoretically actually buy one from Japan and sell it in the UK and make a profit because it's a unique Vita. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
and you still have money left over for a memory card. And bear in mind, these are super cheap bundles, like, because if you were to purchase it off Nip on Yasan, like, it's a great company you can buy them from. They have offices in Japan, and they send them over.
I recommend getting the Borderlands 2 bundle. What you do with it, you buy it, you get Borderlands 2, which you immediately throw out right after opening the box, and then you get a memory card, and then you get like the Vita, which is as well the Slim bundles.
That's the thing. It depends really, because yes, you can kind of make your money back from trading in Borderlands 2, but most bundles nowadays have digital codes.
Well, it's not that. Borderlands 2 on Vita is just
shit. Yeah. Why would you play it on the Vita when you have a PS4 version and you got a PC version and Xbox One version?
Well, it's because it was free, so it's like, oh, I'll try it out, and then I'm like it comes with all the DLC and everything. I'm really happy, and I play it, and then like the controls are weird, and then it's like it's so slow.
Yeah, that's because that's the thing. Like, I feel that big games like like even on the PlayStation 3, it's kind of clunky, but but big games like that are not supposed to be ported onto the Vita in no way, shape, or form. Like,
because people want to play it on the go, which is like they're just responding to fans.
Who the hell wants to play Borderlands 2 on the? No, in my opinion, I would not play Borderlands on the go, mainly because I get invested in these games.
So, well, the point is, like, if the bundle is like the same price, then by all means go for it, because you get like a free game and you get a memory card, like as bad as.
But you get like an 8 GB memory card. That's why I always recommend buying it from Japan, mainly because with Nippon Yasan, you're not going to be paying import tax, which is crazy. I don't know how it works, but you won't be paying import tax. Another thing is, you're paying £120 for a unique Vita, especially in the UK, where all of our PlayStation Vitas are just this solid black color, which is nice. But I mean that, you can get it green, blue, red, white. You can get Hatsune Miku Vita, whatever you want. Plus, you get 4 games, 4 Japanese games. You can always sell them on eBay if you really wanted to. You don't really need to use them because, yeah. And you get a memory card. I think you get an 8 GB memory card. And you still have money left over to buy a 64 GB memory card if you really want to.
Or you could buy the Danganronpa games, am I right?
Yes, yeah. Danganronpa, yes. That's the thing, I've realized something. I was speaking to, on the previous episode actually, we had the people from NIS America on, and they came all the way from America at MCM Expo to talk about their new games, mainly Danganronpa 2, and some other games that they were publishing. So, we asked them a couple of questions, and one of them was, why was it not released as one game? Like in Japan, the reboot was released as a Danganronpa, was it Reloaded or something like that? Where they had the first game and the second game on one cartridge.
Second game. Yeah.
So that's the thing. The reason they said it was because, first of all, this was the first time that Danganronpa was going to be coming overseas, because it was originally a PSP game in Japan and it was really popular there, and they wanted to make sure that it would do well before they released the second game, because it could have been really shit and it could have done really bad.
And then if it was bad, if it didn't so well, then they'd lose a lot of money, and it's just it'd be really situation.
Exactly, and in this way, it's kind of a win-win because they're making even more money because they've done it as 2 releases. But I don't think that's the reason that they've done it as 2 releases to make more money. No, it's because they just want to make sure that they test the waters out with the first game, and if it's popular, then they can release the second game, which is it's a good thing they did. And also they've done voice acting, which is badass. I love the voice acting for the games.
Voice acting for the entire cast, which I really loved. They also changed some localization stuff. They changed Celis, I think that's how you pronounce it. They changed it to Celeste.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to stay faithful, so they kept it Monokuma's name as Monokuma.
Yeah.
And it was a request from one of the developers in Japan, I think.
That's what I like about it. They keep the names proper, and also I just love the English voices. For instance, I'm not a big fan of Hagakure, but I like his voice. Yeah,
I listened to both Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa 2 dubbed, because it's after I watched the animation, which was subbed, I'm you know what, I want to try to listen to the dub and see what it's like, and I'm it takes something used to, but after a while, I really become fond of it.
The thing is, they got good voice talent for it. I can't deny they have awesome voice actors. You got KG Tang, who's also been on this podcast, and you got Eren. And to be honest, they're the only ones I can remember at the moment, because Eren plays half of Junko. Because Junko has 2 voice actresses, I think. She does, yeah. Which is weird. Yeah, so Junko has 2 voice actresses.
Yeah. Oh, I was really confused about that, because some people said she was playing Junko, and some people said she was playing Toko.
Oh, she was playing, Eren was playing multiple characters in it. She was playing, Genocide Show, yeah, I think. Yeah,
Genocide Jack in the English version.
Yes. Well, no, she had a different name in English. Was it?
Alright.
Anyway, so yeah, Danganronpa 2, they had really nice voice actresses and voice actors, really great voice talent, one thing I'm annoyed about, but this is in terms of the anime, is that they've only kept, like, I forgot his name, the main character. They only kept his voice the same, and they're replacing everyone. I'm like, no! I just use the original cast, the Funimation dub, which, yeah.
Yeah, they only brought back Makoto Naegi's voice actor.
Yeah, and it's like, he's a good voice actor, but I'm saying it's just like, at least bring back the rest of the cast. At least.
Well, as long as they all sound the same in some way, then I'm going to be alright.
They're not going to. I feel because every actor has a different way of like acting and stuff, so you're not going to get perfect copies. You're not. They're going to be variances and stuff.
Definitely not going to be a perfect copy, but like as long as it's as close to the original as it can be, then I'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
Slide.
There will be uproar though. Like there will be people that will be in like the comments like, "Ah, fuck you, Funimation! Oh my god!"
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Like, it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. Anyway. So that was one of the games. Oh, actually, 2 games that you need to buy if you ever buy a PlayStation Vita. First thing you do.
Can I say this story?
Yeah.
It's like it all started in 2013. Like I had no idea what Danganronpa was. I watched the animation, and it was one of the best things I've ever seen. Like I just loved it so much.
I agree. That's how I started it as well.
Yeah, then I played the first game. Like this was the reason why I got Vita, because like, I really wanted to play the visual novel. And then I got Danganronpa, and then I played the game. I loved it, and now I was so hyped for Danganronpa 2. I got this. I was so hyped for it. I got the special edition for it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I got the NES America special edition.
Oh, where fancy! I didn't get any special editions
because
I actually started. I know this sounds really dumb. But I watched the animation, and then I decided I'm going to buy Danganronpa 2, just for the story. And then I played it, and I was like, oh my god! And then I went over and played Danganronpa 1. So that's how I went, kind of in this weird backwards way. And I bought it on sale. It's not like I didn't. Like, these games on the PlayStation Vita, that's another thing I need to mention. PlayStation Vita gets sales pretty much all the time. I wouldn't say on the scale of Steam, but, you know, at Christmas, Easter, like, any chance they have to do a sale, they will do a sale. Like, casual bank holiday sale, they will do stuff like that. It's dumb, but it's great, because, to be honest, there isn't many good titles on the Vita, and the ones that are amazing, they're either on, you know, PlayStation Plus, or they're on sale.
Yeah, let me just say this right now. If you're interested in Danganronpa 2, play the first one first, because Danganronpa 2, it doesn't look like it, like from to the naked eye, but it does spoil Danganronpa 1.
It does, yeah. Obviously it does.
And like you also you won't understand any of it.
Or if you don't want to play, if you want to do what I did, do that, because that's what I did. I watched the animation for Danganronpa 1 and then played 2 and then went back and played 1. I know it sounds dumb, but it works as well.
I feel like it's more enjoyable if you just play the game, because like the animation cuts out a lot of stuff.
That's another thing. That's something obviously I didn't realize, but it was like, oh my god, you get so much more from playing the game. It's unbelievable. I don't want to spoil anything. Like
social link-esque, stuff.
You do, yeah, of course. Which they don't necessarily show in the animation, because they cut that out. It's all like, this person died. I'm like, okay.
And that's something they realized. Apparently, a lot of people don't like the animation, but like since I saw it blind, I really loved it.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. That's another thing, which leads me on to another game for the PlayStation Vita. You probably know what I'm talking about. It's I initially watched that first before I even knew about it, and I was like, oh my god, is this an RPG? And then, because I hate RPGs, everyone knows this. I hate RPGs because of Final Fantasy 13 ruined my life. The game. Don't buy that game. Don't buy Final Fantasy 13. Whatever you do, unless you're a Final Fantasy fan. But even if you are, don't buy that game. It's bullshit.
It's a mixed audience.
No, it's a bullshit game. You know why? Because like you fight a boss for so long and you follow like guides and all of this stuff, and then the boss is like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna cast Doom on you guys." So then you have a timer until you die, and I'm like, "No!" And you're like almost finished that boss, and then the timer goes to 0, and you're like, "Fuck!" You know what I mean?
It's definitely like the worst Final Fantasy.
Worst is an understatement.
It gets really repetitive. Like I'll admit that. I get bored of the battle system. Like I got bored from the battle system a ton of times, and it's not fun. And then but I kind of really like the story. I like the characters and stuff.
The characters are cool, but anyway, back to Persona. I'm going too much on this. It's like, anyway, Persona at the moment. I don't know if you guys are still listening to this. You can buy Persona on Amazon, at least Amazon.co.uk, for half price. It's like £17 now. That's a bargain, and that's a physical copy, and that's great. You need to buy this game.
It's a bargain for arguably one of the best JRPGs I've ever.
And I saw an IGN article about this, and they pretty much said this is the reason to buy a PlayStation Vita. I completely agree. I bought a PlayStation Vita. I'm not a big fan of portable consoles, but I bought a PlayStation Vita just for Persona 4 Golden. And that's an amazing game. And I hate RPGs, but I love this game.
Yeah, I saw my friend playing it years ago when Persona 4 Golden was still like new.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked really interesting, but I had no idea what I was doing since he was like in the middle of the game. And then he started showing us like a couple episodes of the animation. I'm like, well, this looks cool. But then like some time went by, and I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't watch the animation. I'll play the game. But like I didn't have a Vita at the time, and like it started I think in 2013. Like I started watching an LP of Persona 4 Golden. Yeah, like I didn't play the game blind. I saw an LP of it, but like it was like I saw the story. And I just loved it. Like I fell in love with it. It teaches you a lot of life lessons. It teaches you like how to like be more open. Like don't like try to just be yourself. Don't be like a facade.
Yeah,
I say it like that.
It's about accepting your true self, and that's a lovely thing because. There are going to be teens that are playing this game and whatnot because I believe... let me actually open my drawer and see... Oh, that's the sound of my drawer opening and I'm getting out the Persona game right now because I need to see the rating. I could search this on Google, but I think it's like a 12 or a 16 or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of teens are going to be playing this game and they're going to be going through a lot of emotional distress and trying to figure out who they are. You know, like... And it's a good message because they're going to get that message and they'll be like, oh, you know, I'm just going to be myself and I'm going to accept myself. Especially with, you know, characters like Kanji and, what's her name, Naoto and Rise and all of that kind of characters who they don't really accept themselves. And then they do and it's like, oh, it's a good message to teens and to everyone, really.
So, like, in America, it's rated M, so that means only people 17 and up can play it.
I didn't know that. Wait, let me just check because I have it here. I do have it here, but I don't. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, it's 16 actually. It's rated 16 here. So, yeah.
Because to be fair, it does have like.
It does have sexual content well, not really sexual content, but.
Well, Rise's Dungeon is a good example of that.
Yeah. Yes, that is one thing, and also on the back of the game box it says here, it contains drugs. I don't know how this game contains drugs. I can't really remember any point in the game where.
Remember when they visited Tatsumi Port Island?
Yeah. No, but that wasn't really drugs.
Well, no, my bad. I'm confusing with alcohol. I think it's like alcohol. Maybe kind of like reference drugs in some way.
It probably is. It's probably because the whole nature of the game and the whole TV world thing is kind of psychedelic. And also, this kind of relates to one thing. I was talking to my sister on a previous episode of this Get Life podcast, and we were talking about the link between Nanako and drugs. And we were joking about it, but now that I'm seeing the back cover of this game and how it says that it has drugs and violence and an online mode, which this game really doesn't have, but yeah. So it kind of relates to that. So if you guys really want to know my twin sister's theory on Nanako and drugs, then go check out our previous episode on that. Anyway, sorry for that shameless link, but
what the hell are you thinking?
What? No, she makes good points. I have to admit. Like I thought, oh my god, this is just she's taking it too far, but it makes some good points.
Nanako.
No, I'm not gonna spoil it for people. So if people want to see it, you can relate. She was joking about it, really, but it makes so much sense when you think about it retrospectively. Anyway, I'm going too intellectual into this. It was a joke, but you guys can actually go and watch and see what I'm referencing. Anyway, so this is a game that I think everyone should buy on the Vita. This is a game people should buy a Vita for. Yes, it's out on the PS2, but who's gonna buy the PS2 version? Except for Tyson. Tyson's like the only guy I know that she bought the PS2 version. I'm sorry about this, Tyson.
That's Gold is out there. That's like the only version you should get because it basically makes the game like 50% bigger.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because like they added like an entire winter season. They added a new dungeon. They had like 2 new links, I think. They added
they added social links and they added new persona.
Yeah,
as well.
And they revamped a ton of stuff too.
Yeah.
So, like the game is kind of like it's more like it's easier like for somebody to get into it basically.
It is. It's easier, and they put easier game. They put a very easy game mode, not game mode, game difficulty for people that don't necessarily know how to play the game,
and they just want a story.
And also another thing that they added was when fusing Persona, the Compodium is so much easier to kind of get around, in the sense that you have a special search box and stuff. Not really a search box, but you know what I'm talking about. It tells you which possible combinations, and it tells you this Persona's already registered, so you don't fuse them again. It's really nice, and it's really cool and sleek and whatnot. And it's a game that I feel that I can play this on the train, or I can play this if I need to sleep, and I get so much entertainment out of it.
Just don't fuse Mara on the train.
Oh yeah. Don't fuse a lot of Persona on the train, really, because there are tons of Persona that are very, very sexual. Maybe that's where the sexual references come in, but maybe that's why the game is mature in America, because of penises.
Like, I was asking for, I was like watching a stream of Persona Q like before it came out, and I go in the chat section, I'm like, and then like somebody's answering questions, and then I decide to put in a comment. I'm like, is there any way is Persona Q gonna be rated M, because like I'm 16 and I kind of want to play this game, and they basically said if it has Mara, it's rated M.
Wow. Well, does it have Mara?
It does.
So is it rated M?
Yes.
Okay, that's the thing. Like Mara as a Persona, he's just a massive cock. He's a massive cock on a chariot, which is kind of badass. But at the same time, it's like not many people will get the reference, because I think the word Mara is a slang for penis in Japanese.
It is.
And also, I think it's it's like a Buddhist kind of devil thing, where it's like a representation of a demon that tries to seduce Buddha. So maybe that's why they designed it in a phallic shape.
Like a lot of work is put into like personas and stuff. Like they have all these different kinds of history behind it.
It does. There's so many historical references, so many cultural references and religious references, and I feel that they've done it tastefully. Yes, there are jokes in it, but it's not like they've offended. Like I don't feel offended by how they represented angels in the game, or how they represented demons in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe people are offended by that, but I don't feel offended by anything. Like I just find it hilarious that there's a penis-shaped Persona in the game, or that there's that there is a demon on a toilet. I found that bloody hilarious. That there's legit just a devil on a toilet, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, like there are always those times where it's like you just want to like sit back and laugh.
Yeah, it's a great game, and I think if you got a PlayStation Vita, pick it up or buy a Vita for this game.
Yeah, like the game, even though it's humorous at times, it doesn't take away from like the main point of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I think it needs to be humorous, because without that, it would be very, very depressing. Especially spoilers, especially the whole Nanako thing, and that made me cry. When I saw that in the animation, I was crying for days, and I was like, no, Nanako, no! And then even within the game, like I knew what was going to happen to Nanako and whatnot, and I'm playing the game and I'm just crying. I never had a video game made me cry like that before.
No, actually, let's actually put a spoiler warning at this point, because so we can like talk about this a little more.
No, that's fine. Everyone that watches the Get Alive podcast have pretty much knows that there's spoilers.
You have 10 seconds to mute your microphone, because we're going to go into spoiler territory, and then come back in the next like minute or two. Alright.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Spoilers on the Get Live podcast is well known. Like, we talk about it all the time. So, yeah, the spoilers. Nanako dies. No, she doesn't. I'm really bad at spoilers. Even in the, I think the only time we censored spoilers was in our NIS America episode, where we bleeped out the fact that Adachi was the killer, and I'm not bleeping it out now. Sorry, I ruined the game. I'm not going to ruin the game. I'm going to bleep this out. That Adachi is the killer, and I'm going to bleep this all out, and then people are going to be like, "Oh no, who's the killer?" So
no, the killer is a doozy. Like he's like the person you'd least expect. So like
Adachi. I have so much now to bleep out, so it's amazing.
Are you going to bleep out like the? No, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I like bleeping out stuff like this because then people really want to know, and then they tweet at me and they're like, "Bish, who did you bleep out?" And I'm like, "Oh, you gotta play the game. You gotta play the game to find out." Anyway,
or you can always go on YouTube and just find out.
Yeah, you could. But I suggest if you guys are listening to the bleeps and you really want to know who the killer in Persona 4 is, you got to play the game. Whether you play it on the PlayStation 2, whether you play it on the PlayStation Vita. Just play it. I don't give a shit. You gotta play it.
It's like a censored and an uncensored version
of
this. Like, people want to know who the killer is and people who don't. So like that. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and also other games that I think people should buy on the PlayStation Vita is Persona 3 Portable. The reason I say that is because if you're in America, this game costs $10, which is piss. It's literally nothing.
If you have PS3, then by all means get FES.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I recommend that more, but I'm talking about in terms of the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, that brings me up to my next point. I wouldn't call it the definitive version though, because they're both equally good in their own way.
They both have their own kind of points. Like FES lets you has extra dungeons, and you get to play as Aegis and all this kind of stuff. But Persona 3 Portable, there's a lot of stuff that isn't considered canon, but it's nice because you get to play as a female.
You have
protagonist, and you get new social links and new Persona, and you kind of get Persona 4 style battle system as opposed to Persona 3's annoying battle system, which I'm pissed off about, but it's fine. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's okay. Atlas, if you're listening to me, I'm glad that you done that change because that pissed me off.
My thing, like I'm in, like as much as I'm into Persona now. It's like Persona 3 Portable is like, I don't know, it's hard for me to get into Persona 3 Portable because it's kind of like, if you looked at it on like an actual Vita, it's kind of like pixelated.
No, it's not.
It's kind of like.
Have you played it on the Vita? Because I'm going to open it right now.
I have played it on the Vita. It looks like it kind of looks very like looks a little blurry and.
No, I don't know why you say that. Like for me, I don't have that issue. It might be the fact that you're using a slim. Whoa, get wrecked. No, I'm only joking. But
well, now think about it.
I don't know. It might be the fact that it's a different publisher. That might have something to do with it. Because they do obviously change how the game looks and whatnot. Because this is not published by Atlus in the UK. We get screwed for Persona 3 Portable in the UK. Because it had like 10 different publishers. Like Persona 3 had its publisher as Koei. Obviously Tecmo Koei.
Yeah.
And FES had Tecmo Koei as well. But for Persona 3 Portable, we had Ghostlight. Ghostlight is one of... I'm calling you out, Ghostlight. They're probably not listening to this because they don't exist as a publisher anymore. They're part of Midas Interactive, the people that used to publish Dynasty Warriors, and they are very inactive. They only used to publish PS2 games and PSP games. But obviously they still own the rights, and they were putting this game for retail price of £33 on the PSN store, and it gave me. You look at it and it gives you a brain aneurysm. It's just that it's dumb.
Why? Why is it 33?
Because they, as a publisher, it's up to the publisher to choose pricing. So they're a company that aren't really publishing anymore. So they're going to get money from sales. So that's how they're thinking about it. That's how they do it, and they get more money because they know people are going to buy it. Yeah, even though Persona 3 FES, which is published by Tecmo Koei, and Tecmo Koei still have the rights to it, it's £7, which is awesome.
That's amazing.
So if you're in the UK, buy FES. That's one thing. if you have a PlayStation 3. I bought mine. I bought a Sony 3 Portable for the Vita. I got it at sale, and Sony had to force that sale to happen for Christmas sale, and I got it for £10. So it was a bargain for me. That's why I tend to get the games on sale. I don't buy them full price. I know that's kind of like, oh, Bish, why do you do that? Because, Vita games, believe it or not, they're very expensive. Very expensive. That's a downfall of the Vita, and I'm going to say it from now. They are. But there's always constant sales. Like, even Virtue's Last Reward, that's an expensive game, but I got it for £10 as well.
Not doing well at all. But, like, you gotta admit that the Vita has some pretty good games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, it really depends. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, Japanese games on it, which doesn't really appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't. But if you're listening to this podcast, it's a Japanese gaming podcast, so a lot of people kind of do enjoy that. And I feel this is something that you know how Nintendo, their strength is their first-party titles?
Yeah.
For Sony, their first-party titles, especially on the Vita, they're shit. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
and their strengths are more their third-party titles. Their Danganronpas, your Personas, Virtue's Last Reward, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also, I think games that really work for the PlayStation Vita, because it's a portable console, I would say more visual novels, RPGs tend to work really well. Another thing is Monster Hunter style games. I'm surprised that there isn't a Monster Hunter game on this.
Yeah, they all been going to the 3DS.
That's the thing. I think obviously Capcom and stuff, I can't blame them, but it's cool that Monster Hunter is on the 3DS, but at the same time it also brings way for new kind of style of this game that you kind of get. Tokiden is kind of Koei Tecmo's answer to it, and it's amazing. Have you played Tokiden?
I haven't.
You need to. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, play Tokiden. It's different, and it kind of has this hack and slash style thing, and it really relates into the history and culture of Japan, and you kind of get the Shinto kind of religion theme going on, and you got Mitamas, like spirits of like the samurai and all of these cultural figures in Japan, and it's awesome. It's really cool, and it's awesome. And they've done a new game. Like I think, don't buy Tokiden the first one. Don't buy the first Tokiden. Buy the sequel, Tokiden Kiwami, because it's basically an expansion.
So it's basically the same game.
It's the same. It's the same game. It's just an updated version of the game. It has new story. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's technically a sequel, but it has all of the content from the first game added on. Do you see what I mean?
So is it kind of like Etrian Odyssey Untold, where like they put like the same game and like onto another game, and like they added story to it and stuff?
I haven't played Etrian Odyssey at all, so I wouldn't know. But it's kind of like how Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. How you get Bayonetta 1 as well. Like, although they are separate discs, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when you buy this game, you're technically getting the other game. It's pretty much how it works.
Different story.
No, it's like you can. The way it works is because you have for people that have actually completed the game, the first Tokiden game, not game save transfers, but it's like all your stuff transfer overs onto the new game, and you can experience the story and whatnot. But if you're playing it from scratch, then you can start the story from the beginning and kind of continue where the first game stories left off after you finish that, and then go and continue the new game. So basically, like I said, if you're going to be buying Tokiden, buy Tokiden Kiwami. It's also on PlayStation 4. I say buy it on the Vita. It's a really fun experience on the Vita. It's also got crossplay. Not many games have this whole crossplay feature at all, and I feel that the Vita does it well, really. And most of the games that have the crossplay feature tend to be Koei Tecmo games, in my opinion.
You know, speaking of crossplay, that actually reminded me of there's something else I want to talk about the download, like they're just like download only games on the PSN store and stuff, like all those different gems that like appear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like kind of like it's like they've been like, I personally like playing a lot of games like on 3DS, my Wii U, so like I'll usually play like You just play like indie games or like just like regular like download like games you only find on the PlayStation Store.
Mm-hmm.
And like I like the offering they have on like on the PlayStation Store. Like they have like I've played The Binding of Isaac. I've played what was like not Suikoden. Well like there's games like Suikoden 2, like Binding of Isaac. There's Transistor. They're gonna be releasing Skullgirls Encore this summer.
Yes, oh my god. I am so happy about that. And I never had the opportunity to talk about that. I'm a big fan of Skullgirls, like on PlayStation 3. I got the initial release when it came out, and then obviously I got Encore for free because that's what they did.
Yeah, they basically remade the game and like released it.
Yeah, but the thing is, what I love about the second Encore, because that's what the game is called. I'm not hating on Skullgirls because I'm a big fan, but that's a pretty unique name. Air quotes on unique. Good job, Lab Zero. They could have called it something else, but anyway, that's not my issue. I'm just nitpicking here. But
is that just a sequel, or is it kind of like it includes like the game?
It's pretty much like imagine like a port of the game.
All right,
that's essentially what it's kind of like. You know how you have Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and then you get Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Or you have DOA, and you have DOA 5, and then you have DOA 5 Ultimate, and then you have DOA 5 Last Round. It's basically like that. It's the same game.
Okay.
And the thing is, it doesn't really... If you have the game on PlayStation 3, you're not really missing out on anything. Because you can always buy the DLC and whatnot. Like, personally, I get the DLC for free because if you're one of the original buyers of the original game... Skullgirls before it became Skullgirls Encore because of a stupid publishing thing with Konami.
Oh yeah.
So because it's linked to your PlayStation account, it automatically downloads the DLC for you. I'm not sure if it's like that in America because I know people in America got the DLC a code to download Skullgirls Encore instead of here in the UK. It just automatically went to your download list for Skullgirls Encore, and for me it just automatically downloads everything. So you can pretty much still play Skullgirls Encore from what I know. Maybe I might be very inaccurate on this, but to my knowledge, you can still play Skullgirls Encore with people who have bought second Encore on PS4 and on PlayStation Vita. So you can crossplay with everyone, which is kind of cool, but not on PC, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like I've played like a lot of like Vita games, like some Vita games that I like personally love, like some lesser known ones, like Firefly Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one game, like NES published, it was like kind of like under the radar for a lot of people. But I was looking, I kept an eye on it, and like I downloaded it since it was pretty cheap. I think it was like $10 or $15, and it's really charming. Like it's really fun. It had like a weird kind of gameplay. Kind of like the story isn't like presented to you. You kind of like find out yourself through these like different memories that you collect.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you find out what happened to you, what happened to your family, and it's like how you ended up in the ruins, like how you lost your memory, and it's a very fun game. Like if you have a Vita, then I highly recommend getting the game. Like it's really like I said before, it's really cheap, and you will not regret it at all.
Mm. I love the thing with PlayStation, which I don't notice Xbox do the same thing. I'm sorry if there's any Xbox fanboys listening, but it's like I've noticed this a lot on PlayStation that they're really accommodating of the indie developers. You see what I mean? Like there are tons of indie games, especially on the Vita, which are kind of fun to play, and they don't take a lot of space and all that kind of stuff. Another thing about the Vita, it plays PS1 games. Yeah, that's cool. That's a fun experience. You can play the old school Rayman on this, which is awesome.
As long as you can play Ape Escape on your Vita, then you're pretty much set.
Yeah, I've never heard of that game, but
you never heard of Ape Escape? Oh my god!
No, I've never heard of it. To be honest, my PS1 type things are very limited because I started off gaming with PS2, so.
Yeah. Well. I started off gaming with Nintendo. I can't say that. I can't say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's. It's just like I'm playing like a lot. I'm looking at my PlayStation list right now, And like there are a ton of games I've downloaded, like both on Vita and PS4. Like, sorry to drift away from the Vita for a second, but like there were lots of gems on the PS4 that are like lesser known gems. Like, and like there's a lot of like offerings on the Vita too. Like, it's let me look through my list. It's hard to remember because I've played so many games. Like, it's hard to remember exactly what I've gotten.
While you do that, I just wanted to mention that anyone that has a PlayStation Vita or is buying a PlayStation Vita, buy the largest capacity memory card that you can. Because this is not like the Nintendo 3DS. There is no SD cards. You're using proprietary memory cards by Sony, and they are very, very, very expensive. And this was something that was a problem with the PSP as well. And Sony still haven't got it right. And I think Sony, come on, do like an adapter for micro SD cards so that we can at least use them with the Vita. That's what I think. Just saying.
Oh, back to retail games. There are also a few we should check out. Like, there's Sword Art Online if you're into like that kind of stuff.
I'm a fan of the anime, but then I saw the game. I was so hyped. I was like, oh my god, there's a game on the Vita. And then I watched the Nihongo Gamer video. I love that guy. Anyway, he follows me on Twitter, by the way. I'm just saying. So I was watching his gameplay, and I'm like, this game looks kind of shit.
Yeah, it looks alright. Like, that's why I was kind of like hesitating a little bit.
I don't think it's a game to buy a PlayStation Vita.
But you know what? The game to buy a PlayStation Vita for? Zero Escape Purchase Last Reward.
Yeah, that's a great game. I've been playing it now. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And at the same time, that game is also on the 3DS. So,
it's kind of like more convenient on the Vita because it's like it looks nicer and like, yeah.
One thing I don't like about the game is the awkward looking 3D models within game. I think they should have done it as just like similar to Persona, how you have that visual novel style where it's just artwork as opposed to all 3D models. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like or Danganronpa, something similar to that, because the way they move, the way they're talking, looks weird. And I know another thing. I know that the American release got English voices, but we stuck with Japanese voices. We can't even change that. We don't even get English voices for this release, but it's still a great game. And Kevin swears by the English dub. He's like, yes, this is amazing. And to be honest, the Japanese dub isn't that bad. So, yeah.
Yeah, Japanese is usually pretty good.
Yeah, but Kevin was like, no, English dub is so much better. And I'm like, Japanese dub's alright, especially 5.
I'm like a sub to elitist, but I like a good sub from time to time. I also like dubs. I'm like equal.
For me, I'm equal as well. But then recently, I've been hearing a lot of really bad dubs, so I've been putting it off. I've been putting off dubs, but there are really some. For me, I like dubs for games like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors because I know that there are really talented voice actors involved in that project, and I know that it's going to be amazing and whatnot. But for other games that I don't necessarily know of, I just stick with the original Japanese dub as opposed to English dub. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Also, other games to pick up on the PlayStation Vita quickly before we move on to 3DS. I think is Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. Great game. It is obviously rated mature and so much sexual content, but if many people might not like it, but I love the game. It's a nice take on shinobis and stuff, and it plays similar to Dynasty Warriors. I would say more so like Ninja Gaiden in a sense, but you got destructible costumes.
Here's the thing though, Shinobi Versus is like a sequel. Like you got like the 3D, you gotta play Senran Kagura Burst on the 3DS.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Not at all. Because you have Senran Kagura 2. You got Burst 2 on the 3DS, and that's that direct sequel. This is just like, I wouldn't say a port, but this is for... Yeah, they have a second game. It's already out in Japan. They haven't released it yet, yeah.
Yeah, they're releasing it in North America though. I'm really happy about that.
They are releasing it in North America, and Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus is getting a direct sequel for the PS Vita and PS4, which looks beautiful. I saw TGS gameplay. It's called Estival Versus. Great game.
Yeah, why hasn't Xseed like gotten a hold of that yet?
I don't know, because to be honest, the developers in Japan is Marvelous AQL. It's not developers, sorry. The publishers is Marvelous AQL in Japan. Right? And Marvelous AQL has the Marvelous AQL Europe, which I believe they're the ones that pick up on it. They're the ones that do all the publishing in Europe for obviously Marvelous AQL games. And Xseed is technically Marvelous AQL America. That's how I like to call it. I'm not sure if they are a separate company now, but I think they are still part of Marvelous AQL. I just don't know why they haven't picked up yet. I
have a question.
Yeah.
Has Rune Factory 4 come to Europe yet?
Have what?
Rune Factory, has it like finally released in Europe?
What the hell?
Rune Factory 4 on the 3DS?
I would not know. I don't have a 3DS.
Well, I thought you'd know because like Marvelous, like, didn't they like file for bankruptcy or something? Like, weren't they like shutting down?
Marvelous AQL. There was a point when Marvelous AQL in Europe were really inactive. Like, they did their part with other games and stuff, and then at one point they were doing mobile games, and now they're picking up again in terms of publishing in Europe, which is great.
I thought they shut down. I felt like
they've come back, and I think they've come back stronger, especially with Senran Kagura being released over here, and they've pretty much been getting the hype train going on. Also, other games to pick up on the Vita. We have to go onto the 3DS. We need to give the 3DS some love as well. Remember that, Joe. So,
just play. All I'm gonna say is Gravity Rush. Now let's move to 3DS.
Yes, Gravity Rush, great game. Another thing is, if you're also a fan of Senran Kagura, get Bon Appetit as well. I'm not a big fan of Bon Appetit because it's just too raunchy for me. But and for me to say that means it's very, very raunchy. Very naughty game. I like it, but it's not for me. I wouldn't play too much of it. But it's something, if you really want to make people awkward on the train, sit next to an old lady and start playing Senran Kagura. I do it all the time, and it's just like, what the hell's going on? Especially when you what's it called? Do shinobi transformations, and it's like really awkward. People just look at you like, what? Also, last game that I wanted to mention.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even remember now. Oh, Akiba Strip. Akiba Strip. You have to play Akiba Strip on the PS Vita. It's also on PlayStation 3 and PS4. And the PS4 version has more content, but I say it's a solid game on the PlayStation Vita, and it's a nice representation of Akihabara in Japan. So play that game. It's also published by NIS America.
Like, there's the thing with the Vita. Like, we have so much to talk about that so much to talk about, which is exactly why you need a Vita.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to buy PlayStation Vita.
People say there are no games for it when we're like bursting at the seams trying to talk about.
But that's the thing. There's a lot of the games are just not imports, but games from Japan. Also, another game. This is the last one. I promise. Hatsune Miku, Project Diva F. Yes. And maybe Project Diva F2. Maybe.
The first one is like it was really good because like it had like a nice soundtrack and everything.
Yeah, and I feel that the second one is basically overpriced DLC. That's Project Diva F2.
Yeah, I've listened to all like the Project Diva F music, so I saw no point in actually buying it. So I just skip the Project Diva F second. And like I'm gonna say, like although there were like some pretty good songs in like the entire list, it isn't as good as the first one.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway, also as soon as I said Project Diva F2, it brings me on to another game also made by Marvelous AQL, which I'm not sure is coming to Europe or America soon. It's called IA Colorful. It's pretty much another rhythm game that focuses on a Vocaloid, which is great because the other kind of Vocaloid rhythm games haven't done well. Like the Goomy game hasn't really done well at all. So this looks interesting, and I got hyped because I heard See the Lights, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing! Anyway, so I got hyped for that trailer, and you have to see that trailer. Anyone that's listening, watch that trailer, and you'll get hyped, and you'll want to buy a Vita, you'll want to buy everything. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The point of all this, buy a Vita, has a ton of games, you'll love it.
Exactly, you will love it. And there's also probably a new Vita that's coming out. Kevin told me about it. There's rumors about a new Vita. That it's pretty much, from what I read, it's pretty much the Slim, but it has HDMI out. But I'm not sure that's true. These are just rumors, and I think that would make the PlayStation TV or the PS Vita TV pointless if that was the case.
Obsolete means pointless.
It would. It is. It's already pointless now, but for the European release, it was stated as a streaming device, kind of similar to the Chromecast or the Roku TV or stuff like that. And it's not. It's hence why they called it the PlayStation TV as opposed to the Vita TV in Japan.
Because PlayStation Now and they can play video games.
Exactly. And it's like, it's more streaming and stuff. And yes, I understand you can stream content from your PS4, but you don't need that. You don't need that. You might as well. If you're paying £80 for a PlayStation TV, might as well pay a bit more money and import a PlayStation Vita, or even buy a used PlayStation Vita. You can buy a used PlayStation Vita for £80 in the UK, which is the same price as a PS Vita TV.
No, I'd buy a Vita anyway because the Vita has PlayStation Now too.
Yeah, exactly, and you can stream PS4 games, and it works.
I played Catherine on it, and it runs perfectly.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't think we have PlayStation Now in Europe, though. Not yet. I'm not sure. I think it's still in beta stages.
The 3DS now because I think we've dragged this on for way too long.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. So now, I'm sorry if people are like, "Oh my God, Bish, you're not talking about Nintendo." This is actually the first time we're going to be speaking very nice about Nintendo today, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to say.
No, than this guy right here.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the 3DS, and I'm not a big fan of the 2DS, but let's talk about it.
Get ready, because I'm about to talk. I guess I have a lot to say.
Okay, you have a lot to say, but I want to raise some questions here. What do you think about the 2DS design?
The 2DS design, it looks like Nintendo was eating a cake while trying to think of ideas for the 2DS, and they're like, this looks perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Someone showed it to me as bread. There's this is a slice of bread, and I was like, that's what it is.
Advertised as a tablet of sorts because kids love tablets. Because the console the console's main point was to get kids and people that are running on a budget to try to to play 3DS games and stuff.
Yeah, that is interesting, but at the same time, I feel that what Nintendo did with the new 3DS made the 2DS pointless. But we'll talk about that a bit later. What I feel that's wrong with the 2DS is the fact its name. It's called a 2DS. First of all, yes, it doesn't have 3D, but why call it the 2DS? That's dumb. That's kind of
advertises it if nobody knows any background information, it just advertises you can only play 2D games. Kind of two-dimensional games.
Yeah, so it's the games are still 3D, but they're not they're not popping out of the screen like the 3DS and whatnot. But it's another thing that annoys me is it's called a DS. It's not a DS. DS stands for double screen. There's actually one screen inside of the 2DS. It's one screen. It's not two screens. It's just one screen that's been partitioned.
Two screens.
No, it's one screen.
Oh, it's two screens.
It's one LCD screen.
No, it's two screens. Have you seen pictures of the 2DS?
It's one screen.
It's not?
Look at it. It's one screen. If you take it apart, it's one screen.
What, you mean it doesn't fold? Or has one screen?
No. If you look at your 3DS right now, there's two pieces of... there's two LCD screens. Yeah?
Yeah.
If you look at a 2DS, it's one screen.
Search right now.
It's one screen. It just looks like two screens. It's one LCD panel. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just partitioned in a way to make it look like two screens. It's actually running off one screen.
Okay. You gotta be more specific about that. Gosh.
Hence why it can't be called a DS. Because it's not double screened. It's one screen. It just has...
Yeah.
It should be called the Nintendo two screen partition thing.
Nintendo No, it's called the Nintendo S.
Yeah, it should just be called Nintendo Screen. That's what it is. Or it should be called Nintendo SS, but then that might be offensive to some people.
It's just gonna be about. Yes, that's Nintendo.
Yeah, that's one thing that annoyed me about it, and the fact that they could have really. They said, yeah, the design was more for kids and whatnot, and I understand that. That's
people that you might even like to come pay for a regular one.
I understand the design, but at the same time, why couldn't you make it a clamshell style design? You could have just done that, Nintendo, and just taken away the 3D. That's my opinion.
I really don't know what to say about that, because like besides like the folding and like besides like the lack of 3D, like it's pretty much the same thing.
It is. But that's not my issue. My issue is mainly with the design of it. Like if they designed it pretty much the same as a 3DS, then I would be fine with it. Like I see people on the train. Like I'm always on the train, so I see a lot of people playing portable consoles, and they tend to be a lot of businessmen from Canary Wharf and the business districts and stuff. So investment bankers basically. And they're playing on their 3DSs. But then you see one guy with a 2DS and you're like, come on, you're making so much money and you bought a 2DS? Like, really? Like, I'm not one to judge, but you're really going to buy a 2DS? Everyone else is 3DS.
If you have a ton of money, then I don't get why you get a 2DS when you can just throw off the 2D on a regular 3DS.
Exactly. And it's just like, maybe you're going for the durability, because that thing looks like an old Nokia phone. It looks like you can build a house with 2DSs. That's what it looks like.
So your house like cars, but instead of cars, it's like 2DSs.
No, I think you can build a legit house if you got cement and you just cemented some 2DSs. You can build houses. That's what I think.
It'd be really creepy though. It's just like a bunch of screens just like on your walls.
No, I was saying that you just stack them on top of each other and pour cement over it, so that it's just useless.
Yeah.
It's just bricks. But that would be cool as well, having screens on your wall. Although it would be creepy. But it would be cool.
Yeah.
Very energy inefficient, but alright. Another thing in regards to Nintendo and that, this is another thing that annoys me, is the fact that Nintendo released the new 3DS. I'm a big fan of it. I enjoy it, and that's kind of cool. And how it has amiibo support, which I don't really like amiibos, but okay. But the most exciting thing about it is slightly larger screen and micro SD. That's like, whoa, that's cool, I have to admit. But it's kind of made it pointless because you can't play certain new games on older console. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, so you're saying that I can't play this game that I just bought now on my older 3DS or even on my 2DS? Like, what's the point of even them continuing to sell the 2DS if I can't even play all the 3DS games on it? Unless Nintendo do an updated version of the 2DS. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, let's like dismiss the 2DS for now. Let's just talk about like the 3DS, like and like the pros and cons of it. It's like, okay, I don't know what to say about the new 3DS. Like on one hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Like it's more powerful. It can run better games. Like you can play Xenoblade on it, which is a game which was impossible to get until now. And like you like all these different features, like more buttons, you have like a better 3D tracking. Like you can use faceplate, except if you're American, then you.
Oh no, you can't use faceplates on all of them.
Oh, well,
on the XL, you can't use faceplates, unfortunately.
Oh, you can't use faceplates, and well, at least you have a choice in other countries. I live in America.
No. I'm saying that I know in the UK you can use faceplates on the new 3DS, just the standard one, the standard new 3DS, but the LL or the XL does not have faceplates.
I don't get why. Maybe it's like an XL, maybe like it's built differently. I don't know.
It does look like it's built differently, but I'm not quite sure. But you mentioned that in America you don't have faceplates. I don't understand why.
It's because we North America isn't getting the original model.
What do you mean?
It's like when they were like, you know, the Nintendo Direct a while back when they announced like the new 3DS for North America and stuff. Yeah, they only decided to release the XL.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the original model isn't available here.
Wow. That sucks. Honestly,
Yeah,
it does.
like they have like Xenoblade faceplates left out. It's like it's ridiculous.
That's kind that's kind of dumb, really, because then that means
It's dumb.
if people want to play Xenoblade, then they're gonna have to buy a more expensive 3DS.
Yeah,
That's although it's kind of cool because that 3DS is kind of massive. But it's just like you have to spend even more now to buy a game.
I have like customization for like a small 3DS, then buy one big 3DS, and then buy two others when a special edition comes out.
Yeah,
I wanted it because like customization and stuff, and it's like it just isn't coming, which is why like I've been holding it off. Like I was saying before, like one hand I'm excited for it, but on the other hand, like I'm like I have this special edition Pikachu 3DS XL, and like I don't want to just get rid of that. And I definitely need an upgrade, but like I don't want to get rid of it. And like there's also the fact that like the regular 3DS, new 3DS isn't coming to North America, so it's like I'm kind of like holding off until that happens.
and the thing is, you can't even import. Like even if you really wanted to, you can't.
Yeah, you can, because like then you'd have to buy games from like that specific country.
That's the thing. Like I know in Europe, because we have this thing in Europe where that region lock doesn't really matter in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like if I can buy a game from Germany, still works on my 3D. Like if I had a 3DS, it would still work on my 3DS.
DS region locked, like the regular DS.
I'm not sure actually. Let me check. Is the 3DS region? If actually no, the DS.
It's like the
RTS games region locked. I don't think so.
They aren't?
I don't think so. I don't think they're region. I don't think the original DS is region locked.
Oh wow!
But I know the 3DS is. But that's the thing. Like 3DS, why Nintendo? I'm not hating on you. It's just why do such bad thing like that? Bad Nintendo. Don't do that.
Yeah, like as we said, like in the beginning of the podcast, like maybe it's like younger audiences, maybe it's something else, but like they're just not like making our console region free, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah, but it's dumb because they could say the same thing about the Wii U, but the Wii U had some really mature content. Like let's be honest, Ninja Gaiden, Razor's Edge, you can decapitate people in that game.
I guess it's because Japanese games are kind of like very different compared to American games. Like mature in America is like very different compared.
True. Like the whole like in America, anything like sexual is like, oh, it's mature. Do you know what I mean?
Like America has like shooters and like explosions and like violence and murder and stuff. And Japan kind of is like sexualized content.
It's true, but that's the thing I never understood. It's like you have games like Call of Duty where you're killing people. That's rated 16. Well, in the UK, it's rated 16. It used to be rated 18. Now it's rated 16. And it's like, what the hell? But then you got games like DOA that are like they're mature. They're fighting games just because they got tits in them. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to 3DS. Yeah. So, for me, I would say the stuff that's appealing to me about the 3DS is first-party titles. So games like Mario Kart.
First-party titles are what really make the game shine. But like there are some very good like third-party games too, like Kingdom Hearts 3D, for example.
I've never played. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game to begin with. So.
Well, the thing is, like, it's like people were anticipating it for a while, and like when I played it, even though it was like on the short side, it was a very fun game. Like I enjoyed like everything about it, and yeah. Let me open my drawer and see what games I got on, because I have like all my games on my 3DS are like all in my drawer. Yeah, there are a lot of first party games, but like let me just state the games I have for 3DS, and just bear with me. I have Pilowings Resort, which is like a launch title. Like I didn't really buy stuff from the 3DS until like June or like July, because the 3DS suffered a drought, kind of like the Wii U, even though it was much shorter. And I got Ocarina of Time in July, and then I got Super Mario 3D World, Mario Kart 7, Kid Icarus Uprising, which is like kind of like something I asked for my birthday on a whim, because it's kind of like I wasn't really into it, but like it looked interesting, so I'm like, you know what, I'll get this for my birthday. And like it was satisfying in every single way. It is probably one of the best games I've ever played on the 3DS, if not like one of the best games period. Super Mario Bros. 2, Kingdom Hearts 3D, which I bought back in 2013, I think it was, or 2012, I can't remember. Yeah, it was 2012. And I got Paper Mario Sticker Star in 2012, Animal Crossing 2013 was like when the 3DS was like booming. Like there were game after game. Like Fire Emblem and Luigi's Mansion, I still need to get those, and I got like 4 games for the 3DS in 2014. Minus 2013. And I got Animal Crossing, Mario & Luigi Dream Team, Pokemon X, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is a very good Zelda game. You guys should play it. And in 2014, I got Kirby Triple Deluxe, Super Smash Bros, and Pokemon Omega Ruby. Yeah, I didn't buy as many games, but like still like enjoyed playing. Super Smash Bros is definitely worth it. It's basically like the quality of Smash Bros on the go. And another 2014 game I bought this year was Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
Oh, I heard a lot about that game. It's apparently very interesting.
Professor Layton, Phoenix Wright, or both, then you do yourself a great disservice if you didn't get it, because like it has like everything you'd want in it. And this year, my first 3DS game was The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, which is a remake.
Yeah,
which is a remake I've been waiting so long for, because it's like I have Majora's Mask. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna play through this, and it's like I can't play through this because it's like I know like a remake should be coming soon. Like I'm always hoping. And they announced it, and I was really happy. Like, on launch day.
The thing is, like, I know that there's a lot of like remakes and stuff, especially for the Legend of Zelda series. But for me, the most appealing things for the 3DS tend to be Persona Q. I know, I'm just saying that as a Persona fan. Just Persona Q and other games like I would say Pokemon, but I as a kid, I really never got into Pokemon. I liked the anime, but I never got into the game because to me, it's like collecting, and it's like it felt like it kind of felt like an RPG in some sense, and I never used to like RPGs and stuff. And to this day, I still find like friends and stuff, and they kind of love the series. And
I wasn't really a fan of Pokemon until I played Pokemon Pearl, which came out on the DS, and like that's sort of like pretty much made me fall in love with the series. Like it had that charm of it. Like even now when I think back to my days like of playing it, it's like I remember like going to the park at some point just playing Pokemon Pearl, sitting on a bench, and like the sunset was just going down in the background.
Sorry, another thing that you just mentioned Pokemon, and I was just like, oh my god, I was just reminded of something really awesome.
What?
Is it called Pokken?
Pokken Tournament?
Yes.
Oh, that's coming out on arcade.
That Tekken / Pokemon crossover that's also made by Namco Bandai, who are the same people that made Super Smash Brothers. So
Sakurai made a dream team from Namco Bandai. They they helped them develop the game.
I don't know what other Pokemon are going to be there, because I saw this kind of not indie game, but there's a fan created game like this Pokemon 2D fighting game, and it looks sick. And I'm like, yeah! To me, I would say that would get me into the Pokemon series, and we need really more fighting games on Nintendo consoles, really. But that's another issue. Other games that would get me excited for the Nintendo 3DS, like you've mentioned, are the first party titles. Mario Kart, was it Mario Kart 7? Which is awesome. Like, I've played that, and I was like, yeah! Was it new Super Mario Brothers? I like that. It's a shame that they never released Super Mario Galaxy. I think that would have been amazing if they released Galaxy on the DS and stuff.
Yeah, people are asking for it, but like I don't know how they like incorporate the spin into a console that doesn't have like motion controls.
Well, you can use a pen. I don't know.
Yeah, great disservice. I think you could just put you could map it to a button, press the button.
I think you can, or also map it to a button as well. I don't think you have to shake it.
No, you can't map it. Like I'm saying, Nintendo could change the spin into put into a button form, so you just press it and you spin.
Okay, well I don't know. I think they could do that.
They could do that on the 3DS because it's more powerful.
Yeah, I think so. I think another game that I want to see on the 3DS is I want to see some more Japanese titles coming overseas, because I think Nintendo done a great disservice from region locking, because there's a really exciting game for me, which was Dynasty Warriors Versus. That's the game that actually the first game which had Link in a Musou setting, basically. So pretty much if you look at his moveset from that and compare it to Hyrule Warriors, it's pretty similar.
You keep talking.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. It's a Dynasty Warriors game. It's based off Dynasty Warriors 7, and you get special characters. I think Samus is one of them. Samus is in the game, as well as Link. So that's for me, that's kind of badass to have Link in a Musou game, even before Zelda Musou. So that was very exciting, and the fact that they didn't bring it overseas, it's fair enough. But the fact that Nintendo pretty much denied the whole importing scene is dumb.
Yeah, like there are like some games I want from Japan, like kind of like I wanted to try out the High School DxD games. I wanted to try like Taiko Drum Master, because like I played the Wii version of it at a convention one time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, at least in America, and I think it's very fun. It's just like you have these like this drum set and you just like bang on the drums and you try to move with the beat, and it's like I couldn't stop playing it. Like it took up like a ton of like a lot of like my convention day.
Mm-hmm.
And then and I heard there was a game coming to 3DS, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then it's Japan only, and I'm just really disappointed.
There's a lot of this. I feel that there's a lot of disappointments with the 3DS, and that's mainly because of region locking. I feel that Nintendo need to rethink that, but that's up to them.
They're bringing some. They brought like some games to America though. Like they're bringing Attack on Titan to. I know in America they're bringing it to in May. I don't know about Europe. I think they said they announced it at a later date.
To me, I just don't understand. Like, there's certain games that it's just, especially like something like Attack on Titan. What is the point? For me, it seems like the whole, how you have the Sword Art Online thing on PS Vita, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of like one of those gimmicky anime games.
Oh, well, then you have Atlas, which releases like Japanese game after Japanese game. Like they've brought like all the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yes. Like
America and Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They've brought like Conception games, they brought Conception 2. They've brought Etrian Odyssey, and they brought Persona.
Yeah, the Persona thing I think is the most exciting thing, and I was told by the people from NIS America that it is kind of Etrian Odyssey type thing, how it's like first person.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a mix of like Persona and Etrian Odyssey.
Mm. And at first I was pissed off by the chibi kind of style, because kanji looks. I said this to the people at NIS America, and I said this because there was a guy from NIS Japan, and there was this guy from Atlas Japan. He was also he's vice president of Atlas Japan. I think he's a president of Atlas America. I got to speak with him for a couple of minutes, and I told him, I said, "What did you guys do to kanji? He looks like a monkey." Like he does. Let's be honest. Kanji looks like a monkey in Persona Q, and he's always like, "Urgh." He looks like he's Donkey Kong. That's pretty much what he looks like.
Yeah, I'll admit that. Now that I think about it, he does look kind of funny.
And it's a disservice to kanji, and I like kanji, so it's a disservice to him. And also Fuka is best girl. I'm just saying.
I'm not even going to start this. We're going to keep talking about other 3DS stuff, and we're going to forget everything that you just...
Oh, wait. Who do you think is best girl before we move on in Persona 3?
I told you, I haven't played much of Persona 3.
Don't say Yukari. If you say Yukari, I'll break your bones.
I'm sorry. I'm going to admit, because...
Who are you going to say?
Going to omit because I did not play through much.
No, tell me. You played Persona Q, tell me.
I haven't played Persona Q.
Oh, well, you should buy Persona Q now.
Yeah, I should.
And then tell me.
I need. Apparently, because I wasn't 17 until like March, so I couldn't even buy it.
What?
Yeah.
You could digital download.
Yeah, but like, have you seen my SD card? It's like filled to the brim.
That's the thing. SD cards are cheap. You can buy another SD card.
Well, because I'm always spending money on other games, though.
But you can. This is your main priority. Persona Q should have been your main priority.
It was my main priority.
No, it wasn't. No. I would have sold my organs to buy Persona Q.
I pre-ordered the special edition for the game once it was announced. I just couldn't buy it because, like, one, I was out of money. I couldn't download it.
Well, you should have. You should have done that. Sorry, you should have just sold your kidney and bought it.
Well, I'll play it eventually. Like, I'm 17 now. I just need to prove that I am 17 at GameStop, and they'll give me a game.
Well.
Because I personally don't like digital games. Like when I download games, like it's really because I don't really want to buy a physical copy. Like I'm too lazy to get it, and like it's more convenient when it's downloaded. Mm. But I like to collect games, so it's like I like getting the physical copy. And so like that's kind of why I don't download like any of my games except for like download only games.
Yeah.
Because like I want to in cases like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just okay. I'll allow that. Anyway, back onto 3DS. For me, that I've continued to talk about the flaws because that's all I know. That's all I'm going to fixate on, the flaws. But
questions, like only for you, because I've gone to 3DS since launch day. So
I have a couple of questions. One thing is, what do you prefer in terms of console? Like, you have both. So which one do you prefer? Like, which one do you find yourself playing more?
What, the 3DS or the Vita?
Yeah.
I kind of find myself playing my 3DS more because like, it has like the most games on it, and my Vita is always like hidden away by like somebody in my family somehow.
I don't understand how that works. Maybe they saw that you have Senran Kagura and they were like, Joe, shouldn't be playing this. My
mom just likes to take my stuff away.
Well, if she's listening, shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be doing that.
She's be fun.
What if she's playing your Vita right now? That's why she's taking it.
She's not. Instead,
she's like, Joe. No, what if she is? What if she's got a charger in her room and she's like, you know what, Joe? I'm gonna play some Virtue's Last Reward.
Well, the thing is, I don't have Virtue's Last Reward. I've only played a demo of it, and like that's like my experience of it.
Okay, what if she's playing Persona 4?
It's not on my Vita right now.
What?
It's like the game isn't in my Vita right now. Right now, inside my Vita is Final Fantasy X.
What if she's playing Final Fantasy X?
What's the only like pornographic thing she can get from there is Titus's laugh.
No, but what if she's playing it and she's like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" You know what I mean? How do you not know? How do you not know that your mother is not a closet gamer?
I'm sorry, it's been hidden from me this entire time.
Yeah, it might be. What if she plays like fighting games all the time, and then she kicks your ass in a fighting game?
Oh, I'm never play a fighting game with her.
That's actually happened to me.
Did your mom just spam buttons?
Yeah. She was doing crazy combos, and I was like, "Mom, how do you do this?" And this is her words. She was just pressing circle, and I was like, "What the hell? How is she doing this?" She was like doing Azuna drops, and I was like, "What the hell's I can't even do an Azuna drop in DOA," and she's doing that, and I was like, "Damn, that's awesome." I think she's been playing the game.
Back to which one is better? It's kind of like back to which I play more. It really. It kind of depends too. Like the Vita has like a ton of exclusives I like playing. Once I got Hatsune Miku Project UF Second, like I couldn't stop playing that. It was like very addicting. Like going back to it, trying to play more songs, like trying to beat my high score and stuff. And then I've also played a ton of Neptunia, Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth, and like that's a really fun game. Like I really enjoy playing it. It's a very fun RPG. Like it has like different mechanics like that I normally don't see in RPGs that I play. And yeah, like I'll usually like to play Gravity Rush. I'll try to play more Danganronpa 2, because I'm trying to platinum, trying to plat it right now. And yeah, like I've played like a ton of downloadable games on my Vita. Murder Monster Rebirth. That's a really fun game that I've been playing. It's like a hack and slash, and like it has like a female antagonist and a male antagonist. You can choose to play as like one or the other, and like, you go through like different adventures depending on who you play as. And if I'm playing like small games like that, and like the games I've gone for PlayStation Plus, and the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, that game is one of the downloadable games on the Vita that I've ever played, because like I just take Rebirth like wherever I go. Like there's it has endless replay value. It's like everything is like completely randomized every single time. It's like a new experience. And so like I love my 3DS, but at the same time I love everything on the Vita. So it's like. I know I like playing with 3DS more, but like there's a lot to offer on like the Vita too.
Right. Personally, I would say, because I haven't really experienced the 3DS as much as you have, so I would just say the Vita is the one for me. But
yeah,
at the same time, I respect the 3DS more than I respect the Wii U, obviously. But that's just my opinion. And yeah, there's a lot of nice games on 3DS. You got your Pokemons, you got Pokemon games, which is pretty much for me is like the Call of Duty Nintendo. That's pretty much what it is, in the sense that there's a new game every year, which is pretty much
something interesting. They haven't announced a Pokemon game for this year yet.
They will. I bet you they will. They'll be like, new Pokemon game.
they most likely will, but like it's weird how like they're doing it so late.
What if they're announcing like multiple Pokemon games, and then they have like different developer cycles, and then they have like zombies, and it's just like Call of Duty? What if that exists? Or what if it's another Pokemon crossover game? Because they've done that before. They done like a Nobunaga's Ambition / Pokemon game that was quite interesting to see.
You know what I'd like to see?
What?
A remake of Gen 5. Not Gen 5, a remake of Gen 4.
Don't know what... Oh, Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm not really into Pokemon, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And another thing is that it kind of attracts loads of audiences. Like it's a game made for kids, but at the same time, it really isn't made for kids. If you know what I mean.
Because it gets really too. Like it gets like a lot of people. Like a lot of people really love Pokemon growing up, and some people just want to get into the series. And like there are other people that like really love playing Pokemon, collecting them all, and like they like playing competitively, and they like to like just play online and stuff. It's great.
That brings me on to this. Who is your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon. Oh my gosh, here we go.
Just one. I'll tell you who mine is.
Who's yours?
Bulbasaur.
Are you a Gen 1er?
I don't know what you mean. I'm just going off from the trading card game and from the animation. So Bulbasaur, badass.
A Gen 1er is basically somebody that likes the first generation.
Oh,
and
the OG Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
you're probably going to say a Pokemon that I don't know. Like something dumb. Fun fact: while you're thinking about your favorite Pokemon, go on. Your favorite Pokemon?
Piplup.
Don't know who the hell that is.
It's from Generation 4.
Never heard of it.
It was my first Pokemon. Like it was like my first Pokemon ever. Like it was the first one I ever trained. First one I ever played with.
Were they the starter Pokemon?
It was my starter Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know? One of my friends told me that his favorite Pokemon is Chikorita.
What about?
And I was like, why Chikorita? And he was like, oh man, Chikorita's got a nice ass. And I was like, what the fuck? What do you think about that? Does Chikorita have a nice ass?
I'm just gonna say that everybody has their own fetishes, and we shouldn't judge them just because of that.
I'm asking you a question. Answer the question.
Does Chikorita have a nice ass?
Yes. Does Chikorita have a nice ass? This is the main question. Are you actually typing in Chikorita?
No, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what the internet has to say.
No, I don't think anyone has an opinion, and I think this is the first time it's ever going to be brought up.
All right, Chikorita. No, it's Chikorita. It's just. It looks like every other Pokemon.
No, Chikorita looks cool. Chikorita looks cute, I have to admit, but I don't know why my friend said that Chikorita has a nice ass.
It's because it's peeking out all the time.
Maybe. Or maybe that's because that's the only thing that you see if you're using that Pokemon.
Why are we discussing again? Why are we having that discussion?
Oh, because this is the Get Life podcast, and we have weird discussions like this all the time.
I forgot.
We never have stuff that's like... We always like to push the boundaries, and whether Chikorita or not, if she has a nice ass or not, I don't think Chikorita has a nice ass.
To answer your question...
Because it's a Pokemon.
To answer your question, no.
No, exactly, no. But if you guys think that Chikorita has a nice ass, tweet at us. Tweet at us, Get Life Podcast. Send us your fanfics to Tyson.
If you think Chikorita has a nice ass, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, this is not YouTube. Don't say stuff like that. Don't you dare! But yeah, just say some good things about us. Yeah, just put it in the reviews that Chikorita has a nice ass, and then people that search up this podcast, the first thing that's going to come up is Chikorita has a nice ass. So, if you have any fanfics of Chikorita, send it to Tyson at Kanye_. I don't know how to spell it, but send it to him.
KANAYE_.
Yeah, so just send it to him because he's the director of fanfics, but for Kunai. But Pokemon is an animation as well, so he's gonna enjoy that, and he's gonna enjoy reading your Chikorita fanfics.
Yes.
As odd as that seems.
Yes. Because Tyson is, out of all of us, probably the most perverted.
I don't think so. Don't say that.
Just
You haven't met me.
Bish, you have to go with it.
You haven't spoken to me at all. I was the person that asked people to talk about orgies on the podcast. That's crazy. I don't think Tyson's ever done that. I'm more perverted than Tyson.
No, just go with it. So
No.
like people will just like it's like people tell him like, oh, I noticed that you were like a huge pervert, so I wanted to answer your question about whether or not Chikorita has a nice ass, and like Tyson would just be really
Oh
confused.
my god! I just saw the cutest picture ever.
But
It's Nico from Love Live with a Chikorita. Oh my god! Amazing.
oh my gosh,
That's why Chikorita is best Pokemon. That's
because Nico's Buster.
Nico is best girl. You know that.
No comment. I'm torn between. I really like Maki, and I really like Nico.
Oh, go.
Suddenly we're on Kunai.
Dun 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 dun. Kevin.
Mike was on mute. Hey guys.
Hey, so Kevin is joining us now for the remainder of this discussion.
It's for them.
Is it being recorded or?
Yeah, this is being recorded right now. Oh my god.
What, is
Yeah,
this
what
for GALP or is it
Yes,
Kunai
it
or
is.
is this for GALP?
You've just joined in on GALP, and this is not going to be edited, Kevin.
If you
Shame
what
yourself.
3DS thing of Virtue's Last Reward and Fire Emblem Awakening, and you pretty much have his opinions.
So I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be gone for a second. 3DS, go.
All right.
So what are we talking about now?
Talking about just the 3DS, like talking like what do you think of it? Like what games you have for it, and like do you enjoy playing it more than like anything else?
Also, Kevin, before I mute myself.
Oh wait, hang on. Why are you in this discussion? There, you don't even have one.
Oh, that.
Oh wait,
you're
do
being
you have
harsh.
one? Do you buy one?
You've just hijacked my own podcast, and you're just making fun of me. All right, we're having a
No, I'm
discussion.
just saying.
We're having a discussion about why you should buy a Vita and why I should buy a 3DS. Okay, so that's the thing. We already spoke about the Vita, so
Okay,
we're gonna
I'm
be talking
pretty
about
sure
3DS.
that we've already had this discussion. I
That's
should
fine.
buy the Vita because of
it's fine.
Persona 4. I mean,
No.
that's the only reason you need.
There's more
That's
reasons.
the only reason you need.
There's more reasons, Kevin. Also, Kevin, before I mute myself, do you think Chikorita has a nice ass?
Wait, what? What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yeah, we're asking. What does Chikorita have a nice ass?
Who's that? Wait, hang on.
The Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Which Pokemon is that? Oh, is it the green one? Is it the green one?
What?
That looks
Is
like
it the green one?
Yep.
There's like hundreds of Pokemon that are green.
Okay,
the green
is
one?
it the starter that's like green and looks like a weird ass dinosaur?
Yeah.
I hate that one. I don't give a shit about that.
You don't like his ass.
I'm just saying, water and fire starters master race. Screw grass starters. I hate them. I mean, I don't hate them, but they're not as good.
But you don't.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
not-
like its ass.
You see
the
on
question.
or no?
No. Just, I mean, if you guys are into that sort of stuff, that's fine.
We
No,
were saying that people should send fanfics of Chikorita and Chikorita's ass to Tyson.
Dude, if you didn't choose Totodile, then you should just leave this call right now. If you didn't choose Totodile as your starter when you played...
I don't play Pokemon, but I just know of Chikorita because my friend told me that.
Fish, what were you doing your entire childhood? Like, what?
I was
Wait, I can't process this. You're telling me that you're, 20 now or 21? And you've never played Pokemon as a kid?
no, never. I wasn't privileged enough.
What is wrong with you?
I was a kid that used to play Dynasty Warriors and
Fish,
stuff like that.
do you feel proud of yourself?
Yeah, completely.
I'm disgusted
Yeah,
of your
it's a-
lack of Pokemon.
Leave me alone, alright? Leave me alone.
Kevin, this guy's probably a Gen 1er.
You're saying that as if it's a bad thing. I've just seen the anime and played the trading card game. Leave me alone.
This is the bad thing. Feel bad about yourself.
Click on that link, guys. Enjoy it.
No.
Enjoy it.
Hang on. I'm just gonna go wash my eyes. All right. I'll be right back.
Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy this one as well.
Joe, if you no,
I
I'm not-
$30 everything.
These aren't Rule 34s.
I'm not. No, but it's still horrifying. I'm not gonna click that shit. No,
Come on,
I'm not gonna click that.
Click it for me.
No.
If you would. Hey, I'm your senpai. Please.
My love for you, senpai, is not strong enough to make me click whatever monstrosity you have hidden in that link.
Kevin, God is dead because Bish killed him.
Exactly.
What?
I need to link that clip now from Nichiju. Bish, you watch Nichiju?
No.
How about
No.
you, Joe?
No. This
No,
is,
I a bit of.
this
Joe.
is GLAP.
Oh, come on, you gotta watch this. Nichiju, God is dead.
Kevin,
It's
Kevin, you realize
What?
this is a gaming podcast about the 3DS? Jeez.
okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Talk about it. That's why I brought you on. Talk about it with Joe.
Yeah,
I need to go get a glass of water.
Okay, well, Joe, in your opinion, what is your favorite game on 3DS at this moment?
My favorite game on the 3DS, that's...
it's a big question, but just pick one.
I'd say...
Best series. Favorite series. There you go. That'll make it easier.
I'd say Phoenix Wright, honestly.
I still need to play that. I haven't played that yet.
Well, I've played the iOS port of Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, but that's like it was originally 3DS, so I would like to consider it 3DS too.
You know what game would you recommend for me? Like, if I wanted to start the series, what game would you recommend to start with?
Definitely the first game.
Alright, that came out for DS, right? The original one?
Yeah, the original one came for DS, and just you can buy. You have a 3DS, right?
Yeah.
So you can buy the trilogy. It comes with the first 3 games. Play them in order, and you'll have a full understanding of the original trilogy. And then after that,
is it a bundle or is it one chip with all 3 games installed?
It's one game with all 3 games installed. Oh. It's not a physical release; it's download only.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to get one of those Club Nintendo cards or something. All right.
A Nintendo card. Then after you play the 3 games, you can play. It really depends. Like before you start Dual Destinies, you can either start with Ace Attorney Investigations or with Apollo Justice. Apollo Justice is very important because it actually has some plot points that they cover in Dual Destinies, and these the investigation games aren't they aren't canon. Well, they are canon, but you don't really need to play them to understand anything. They're just side games. And Investigations 2 is Japan only, so you're gonna have to get the English patch for that.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, and then after that you play Dual Destinies.
Because one of the games series anyways that I was looking forward to playing was that, and one of the SMT games. Oh no, sorry, Devil Survivor. There you go.
Devil Survivor. There's you can buy the remake for 3DS, and then the second and the sequel. The remake for the sequel is coming out this month, I think.
Oh, but my favorite game for 3DS is kind of evident. I think you both know it.
Fire Emblem?
What is it?
I literally have it as my avatar.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
you have no excuse to not recognize
it. We were just talking about Virtue's Last Reward, and we agreed that it's better on the Vita. Get
yeah,
wrecked.
I know.
Oh, 360 no scope.
I'm not denying that. If I had a Vita and I'd get it on the Vita, I'm not lying. It's because
But one thing I've mentioned is that I'm not a big fan of this stupid 3D models, character models. I don't like them.
I agree that they don't have the level of detail as 999, which is the prequel.
They're creepy. They're creepy looking.
999. I'm playing through the novel version of it on iOS right now.
Oh, when'd you start it?
Well, I started it, I bought it a while back, but I haven't really played much of it yet. But, I've been introduced, to Junpei and, everybody. And, I've introduced, to the cast and, why he ended up on the ship. Apparently this apartment and, he was gassed.
I haven't seen gameplay of the iOS version yet, I don't know, but from what I do know about the iOS version, it's different from the original series because it's not as puzzle-based, or it's not... puzzle. It's more focused on the story and the dialogue, so it's more like a casual version of the original game.
It's called a novel. I'm interested in the story, which is why I decided to just get that.
Yeah, 999. The reason, which is also part the reason why it's
something to mention. Apparently, in Downward 2, they have a reference to 999 in Virtue's Last Reward, where it's kind of an escape.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
it's because
that's in the. I know which one you're talking about. It's in the. I don't want to say any spoilers, but it was in that room. You know You've played Danganronpa 2, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, I have played it.
The one with the apples and the not the apples, the strawberries and the grapes.
One area where Nagito and it's not really spoilers, it's just mentioning an event. He goes inside a room, he gets trapped inside and he has to escape.
Yeah. It's a reference to that. But after a while, if you don't know how to do it, you're given the opportunity to skip it and you don't get penalized for it.
Yeah, but it's fun. I ended up solving it. It's just I got some hints from Monami because it was confusing.
Yeah, I didn't do that because I wasn't really interested in puzzle games. I was like, fuck, I just want to get through the story and I want to see Nekomaru die. Sorry, spoilers.
It's not spoilers. He didn't we're not gonna say he died. He didn't really say
he became Mekomaru. That's all I'm gonna say.
Are these spoilery for the story or?
Yeah.
Because I'm actually planning on playing Danganronpa at some point.
It is for 2, so you'll forget about it by the time you play it.
Alright.
Also, Danganronpa, everyone dies. It's well known. As long as I say how they die, it's fine. Like, I'm not going to spoil how they die. But that's the whole point of the game. People die, Kevin. People die. Jeez.
Well, dude, I'm prepared for that shit. I've watched Game of Thrones, man. I'm ready.
Oh my god, just...
Kevin, you are not prepared for Danganronpa 2, no matter how ready you think you are.
Exactly.
Once, around the ending of Danganronpa, you have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. You'll never know what's going on in Danganronpa.
Yeah, Bish, don't even hint at it.
Yeah, I'm not going to hint at it. I'm just going to stop right there.
Oh, Bish, how far are you in the story for VLR?
Oh my god. I'm pissed off by this game. It's enjoyable, yes. But I done one, I started off with the whole Alice thing. You know how you're supposed to... I went into one of the rooms, with Alice. That initially. And then Alice was like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. And then we went into the elevators again to do the voting. Do you know what
She betrayed you, right? She betrayed you? Is that why you're pissed?
What the hell? Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, when... What's her name was like, oh, yeah, pick betray. Fi was like, pick betray. And I was like, okay, cool, Fi. And then she gets so pissed off. And I'm like, okay, what would happen if I picked ally? And if I picked ally, she picks betray. And I'm like, what the hell? I thought she was going to pick... What? No. And I got confused. And then I got to an ending where Fi betrays me. And I'm like, fucking bitch. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, the endings that you see on the flowchart aren't even all the endings.
Yeah, I know, because they're locked.
And at the end of
Don't ruin it.
The story, you'll literally have to go back and just unscramble your brain, because it literally bends you over and just fucks you. Because it's just, the story is, just trust me, it's not what it seems. The reason why I like it so much is just how intricate everything is, and how foreshadowing, is such a big part of the game. But yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, then...
No, I enjoy it, but it's just for me, I have to find the right time to play it. Because it's not like a game like Persona where I can be like, yeah, Personas, and summon Mara and do some weird attacks with him. But I mean, this game requires me to think, which, as you guys know, if you watch Kunai or if you watch Get Life Podcast, I don't do that a lot. So it's straining. You know what I mean? You're playing a game for a long time, you have to think, you're like, this is too much,
Yeah, so...
But it's fun. It's it's not a game, there are games that I play that I like to just switch my brain off and play. Like Senran Kagura and stuff like that. But this game, because it's puzzle-based, so I have to think what's going on. And so far, I learned quite a lot. And I'm like, whoa, there's kind of this Ebola-type virus in the game. And it's just okay, cool. There's a virus where people can't really recover from unless they get this kind of medicine.
Okay, don't freaking spoil it.
I'm not spoiling it. That's where I got to. And then the young kid got it, and he wanted to kill himself. And I'm like, why does he want to kill himself?
Bish.
Also, another thing I learned, it's not a spoiler. It's about a character. Why the hell does Alice not wear a bra?
One of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
And all she wears is this gold necklace over her tits.
Well, maybe if we get to interview Ichikoshi on GALP, you can ask him that question yourself.
I'll ask
and
him.
You should relay that information to me, because I'm interested as well.
I will ask him, and I'll say, okay, why doesn't she wear a bra?
No, just skip the introductions. Just once you start the interview, just start with that question. Yeah.
I'll be like, hello, why doesn't Alice wear a bra?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I admit that Villar, it's not...
And why is Fi a bitch? She's cool, but she's a bitch.
She can be a cool bitch at times. But then again, that's why I kind of love her.
Sundara. She's so Sundara.
Not really. She doesn't actually love you.
Don't say that.
Did you want to find someone to notice you?
Yeah. I honestly did. I feel that she was a romantic interest in the game, and now you ruined it for me. Thank you.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. Because
she's like the honey badger. She don't give a shit.
She betrayed me, and then she jumped over. I was like, okay, congratulations, you can be in the Olympics now. Like, what the fuck? She jumps over you. I'm like, okay, leave me alone, Fi.
But I mean, Villar,
how the hell does she know my name?
Oh, dude, you'll figure it out. The thing is, Villar, although it's one of my favorite games, or it's my favorite game actually, I have to admit it's not a game that I'll recommend to anyone and everyone. It's a very niche game.
But you recommended it for
very specific, because I thought you'd like it. It's very.
I do enjoy it.
You have to have a lot of patience. You have to read a lot, and you have to like puzzle games. If you don't like puzzles and reading, then you're gonna hate Villar, because it's literally what it is. there's a reading section and there's a puzzle section. It's just repeated over and over and over again. But enough about VLR. I want Joe to be back in this conversation. Guys, next Fire Emblem is coming out in Japan next year.
Oh my gosh.
Holy fucking shit. We need to talk about this now.
I'm not excited for that. I'm more excited for the crossover with Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, okay, I'll be honest. I'm gonna reply to that right now. I'm kind of disappointed. Did you see the trailer for it?
No, I didn't see any trailers because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
No, but if you saw the trailer, it looks very generic. I was expecting a lot more from it. It looks like a very ecchi SMT game. It just looks like a very ecchi-centric RPG game.
Yeah, but that's fine. Ecchi.
Yeah, the thing is
awesome.
I know, but I feel it's kind of overplayed, you know. And I was expecting a bit more.
Like Senna's character traits. Ah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you want to go there? Okay.
I'm just creating hype for our Kunai episode. People are going to listen to this and they're going to be
say
like,
something right now, but I'll save it for.
Oh, you're going to save it
for the Hagen episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, guys, if you're wondering why is Kevin so aggressive and what is he talking about, watch Get Life Podcast Kunai. You'll understand. Shameless self-advertising.
You were so excited for the for new Fire Emblem, then you're like, oh, then you're just like trashing it. Like that's what you just made a big U-turn in front of me.
The thing is, I was expecting a lot more from the SMT and Fire Emblem crossover. I mean, I'm not saying it will be a bad game, but it looks a bit generic, and I was expecting a bit more from Atlas, to be honest, because there's such.
I thought you were talking about the Fire Emblem IF.
About what?
I thought you were talking about Fire Emblem IF, like the new.
But then Bish suddenly decided to mention the SMT and Fire Emblem crossover.
Oh yeah, well, I think they're pretty much making it more Fire Emblem. It's because they pretty much took a Shin Megami Tensei. It's called like Fire Emblem, like Dimensions, or like whatever it's called. Like I don't remember. Like, have you seen the title for the game?
For the SMT crossover or for Fire Emblem F?
The SMT crossover.
I don't know the title. I saw the trailer like once or twice. I don't know the title. Search it up right now. For the trailer, it just says Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem crossover project. That's what it says.
I don't know how to pronounce it in Japanese, like Genye Ibu Nodoku Fire Emblem.
I like your Japanese pronunciation.
Okay, Bish, shush.
No.
You don't. Do you speak fluent Japanese?
Are you? No, I don't. But I just want to see Joe in Japan and see how he would react. I would just like that. I would like him in a maid outfit and then just say "Irashaimase Gojujin-sama." Say it right now, Joe.
What? Say what?
Irashaimase Gojujin-sama.
I don't even know what you said, so you type it in Romanji.
Welcome home, master. Like in maid outfits.
How do you say senpai notice me in Japanese?
I don't know.
Sumimasen, Kevin-sama.
Sumimasen. Wow. Oh my god, he called you Kevin-sama. Be proud of that. That's and this is recorded as well. This was all my plan.
But if I go to Japan, I don't need to know Japanese. You start speaking French and like chicks will be all over you in no time. Trust me.
Oh. You say that. Say, okay, Kevin. Then you have to come over and teach me. Teach me your ways, Sensei.
After all, you can't be a maid if you aren't a French maid, right? Anyways, let's go back to Fire Emblem.
No, we need to talk about this right now because #GetBishLaid.
This is still
it's done.
It's still going on. We need a fundraiser for this. We need like a Kickstarter page.
We do.
Okay. Do we have anything else to talk about for like?
I like how Joe's really sounding a bit awkward now because he's like, "What the fuck?"
Because I'm like, I thought we were talking about 3DS stuff. Now we're talking about like everything.
Tangents.
Yeah.
The thing is all about tangents.
The thing with Get Life Podcast is that, for example, I tell Bish that I want to get on for a 15-minute conversation about, I don't know, gaming, and then what would actually happen is that we'd have a 3-hour discussion about like Rule 34 and like Digimon or something. See, the thing is, we go off topic so many times that it's just.
But people love it.
I know, exactly. So let's go back on topic because clearly Joe does not want to talk about maids, Bish. So
that's for Kunai. We're saving all the good stuff for Kunai.
So you're saying that my original Get Live podcast, my baby, is not worth these jokes? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not.
You what, mate?
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you better not have said it.
Bish, let's be honest. In your original podcast, it's just you, and in Kunai, it's you and everyone else.
You make me feel sad now.
There's 3 times the Glad podcast in Kunai than there is in the original series.
Take that back.
You heavy breathing cat.
Take that back.
Okay, fine, I take it back.
Better take it back.
No, you
But, do I actually take it back though?
I don't know.
Yeah, actually take it back.
We'll settle this in the Hagonai episode. Yozora Best Girl.
It'll be the
2015.
episode that decides like best girl and like.
I already know who Tyson's best girl is. I've seen it. It's disappointing.
He's told you.
No, he hasn't, because I saw his anime list on Anime Planet, and he put. I know it's not Yozora. I already know it's not Yozora because he put Yozora as one of the characters that he hates, and I was like, heartbroken. How can he do this to me?
I wanted to wait until the Haganai episode to relish your tears, but I guess this will have to do.
No, he's gonna relish the tears even more. He didn't put Senna as one of his favorite characters on.
Yeah, but I don't even care. This is victory enough for me.
No,
anyways, let's get back on topic, Bish.
Okay, I'm sorry. Talk about 3DS and bullshit like that.
Okay, come on. You have to contribute to the discussion as well. I mean,
okay.
What do you think about the new Fire Emblem game and not the crossover?
I'm not really interested in Fire Emblem. I was never interested in Fire Emblem, mainly because it's not on PlayStation. So I don't really pay attention to it. No, but I don't pay attention to it, so I really can't contribute to the thing. I would say the Shin Megami Tensei thing was more interesting because it was like, oh my god, crossover games. I'm interested in them more so than actual.
Yeah, that's understandable.
More waifus to claim?
Pardon?
Is it because you have more waifus to claim?
In which game?
In the Shin Megami Tensei crossover?
I would say so. Like, the more waifus the better. That's well known.
Okay, guys, we all know that by just looking at the trailer, everyone knows who Best Girl is going to be in the new Fire Emblem game. We all know.
Who is it?
Alright. It's the girl with the blue hair. Right, Joe? Alright?
Really?
Joe's hesitating right now.
Joe is hesitating. Do you know why?
Alright.
Because he knows that Yozora is Best Girl.
No, in Fire Emblem. Okay, let's just stop talking about Haganai.
It's not that. I was just
Best Girl. Yozora is Best Girl. Yozora. Anyway, back to Fire Emblem. Go.
I really want to play Awakening, but I haven't had the money for it.
But do you not have it? Or, you haven't played it yet. Darn. Okay, yeah, you should. I would definitely recommend playing it just to get a feel for the series, but you don't technically need to play it to play the new game because the new game is set in a completely different universe. It's not the same universe as the original series.
I have played a bit of the Sacred Stones.
Yeah, I've played that too, but I haven't completed it because I suck at Sacred Stones.
I'm sorry, I just picked up Twilight Princess and I just left it on for so long. But yeah, like I want. It's just I just want, not because I was gonna play it anyway. I was gonna play it like it was gonna be like my first game. The game looked fun. I tried out the demo. It's great, and like I really like the art that they did for it.
Yeah, the art's pretty nice.
The art's fantastic.
Although I'll be honest, I can't say that I have full confidence in this.
What? It's so funny.
I saw this meme and it's just cracking me up. It's a Pokemon meme.
I swear to God, if it's not a picture of a muscular Chikorita...
No, I promise it's not that. It's just a standard Pokemon and there's a caption. It's just fucking hilarious.
Oh, is it one of those, what's this Pokemon names?
No, it's not that one. Although I've seen them, they're hilarious. But it's
oh my God.
It's Metapod.
That's so bad.
Use Harden.
I'm not even gonna bother clicking on the link.
Have you seen that Smosh thing when they're like, use Harden, Metapod, use Harden, use Harden?
No, I'm not familiar with that, to be honest with you.
Oh my god, you need to watch the Pokemon in Real Life series that Smosh did. It's like a parody and so fucking hilarious. It's just, I get it more because, you know, you guys make fun of me because I'm Gen 1 OG Pokemon master.
Did you even play the original Pokemon games?
No. I used to think kids that played Pokemon were nerds. Sorry.
Irony.
I was the biggest nerd, but I was like, I never had a Nintendo console. Why should I start playing? I actually felt left out. Let's be honest, because everyone was like trading Pokemon. Like back in my day, people used to trade Pokemon with like these cables. You guys don't do that anymore.
Yeah, thank God. That was such a pain in the butt.
How do you know? How do you know that was a pain in the butt? You never.
Because I had a Game Boy Advance SP, the folding ones, and they still needed the cable, and no one ever had cables.
Well, maybe that's in Canada. No one had the cables, but in the UK, you go to the playground, everyone had the cables, and they were like trading, and they were like, "Oh man, and I was still there with my Pokemon trading cards, and I felt so left out because no one had Pokemon.
Okay,
trading
I mean,
cards.
the only card game worth trading back then was like Yu-Gi-Oh, because you could actually play the game.
Yu-Gi-Oh was Yu-Gi-Oh was later on.
I never understood the game rules for Pokemon, so you never actually used the cards to play games.
No, you never. You just wanted those shiny holographic cards. That's
Yeah.
the point.
And you'd spend a shit ton of money on them.
To get the shiny, what's it called? First edition Charizard. That's all everyone wanted. Anyway, Joe. So,
Yeah.
back to our discussion.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that, guys. Basically, what that was just Kevin. He came in, and I got him on because I wanted to do some shameless self-advertising. So, if you guys want to check Kevin out, you can do. He's on Get Life Podcast Kunai. Whoa, yeah. Go check him out on that. Anyway, is there any questions that you'd like to ask me regarding Nintendo? Because I know you're like Nintendo guru, but I'm a Nintendo noob, so...
Will you ever get back into Nintendo?
That depends. I was close to getting back. Like, I used to play the NES, I used to play the SNES, but I kind of lost faith in Nintendo after the Wii. You know what I mean? So it could take a long time. I used to play like really old school games like Nobunaga's Ambition, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Ninja Gaiden, stuff like that. So, and old school Mario games as well. So I have so much respect for Nintendo. And recently I saw an interview with Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
And him, I used to like, there was this point where I was down in the dumps. I used to hate Nintendo and I was like, fuck Nintendo. But I saw an interview with him and it was a Smosh interview, and it wasn't serious, but this guy is always smiling. Like, you see him, he's always... I don't think I've seen him where he looks depressed in any sort of way. Always smiling, and he speaks with such passion about games. It's unbelievable. And he's a big inspiration in general.
Yeah, he's like the greatest like game designers and developers like ever.
Yeah, and it's not just because of that, not just because he's created Mario and Zelda and whatnot.
Nintendo fan, he's just like that talented.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And like he has a vision for like gaming, and it works.
Exactly, and I think it's also the fact that you just look at him and you feel calm. Like I look at this guy and I just instantly feel happy. It's kind of like the guy that does the games, the F series. What are they called?
F-Zero?
No, not F series. What am I saying? I feel like such an idiot now. The Tales of series. Sorry.
Tales series?
Yeah, what was it called? I forgot his name. Hideo Baba-san. He's very... Like, I look at him and I feel happy. It's the same with Miyamoto-san. I feel the same way. So, they're very, very inspirational people. But I think I could get back into Nintendo if Nintendo gives me a reason to get back in.
Yeah, will you, like, if they give you a good enough reason, will you put the money down to buy an NX?
Possibly. I think I would probably buy the Wii U before that.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because like the Wii U still has like a good future ahead of it.
It still does, and I know that the Wii U is going to go down in price soon. So
yeah, there's also Star Fox that's coming out this year.
I heard about that, and that's another thing. Like, I know a lot of people out there that are really super excited for it. Especially one guy. Shout out to Aaron Cooper, lovely guy, and he's a big fan of Star Fox. So. I don't know. He's kind of getting me hyped for it, so maybe I might pick up a Wii U for that. Because I think it's like, when was the last Star Fox game?
The last Star Fox game, I think that was either... I didn't really follow Star Fox, but like I've heard like some good things about it. I think the last one was on I think the last one was on the GameCube.
So it's a long time since a new one's been out.
Well, I need to see a Star Fox. I think there was one for the Wii. I can't remember. I think they were planning one for the Wii, but I'm gonna look at the series. Just give me a second. Star Fox Command. The last Star Fox game was on the DS.
Wow.
It's in 2006.
That's correct. So it's almost 10 years since another Star Fox.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I don't know what people think about like the DS version now, which I don't know. But like Star Fox just saw released on the GameCube, and Star Fox they remade Star Fox 64 in 2011.
Well, that's not really a new game.
A new game. But
another thing is, I feel that I can get into games like Smash, because I used to play a lot of Super Smash Brawl, on the Wii. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the new Super Smash Brothers on
I
the
really-
Wii U.
Smash Bros. It's really fun. Like, it's really addicting, and like I tend to get really competitive when it comes to it. Like, I
Of
like
course, yeah.
But
But the thing that annoys me about it is the whole amiibo thing, and I feel that I'm going to be tied down to amiibo. Like, for me, I don't know, maybe this is not Nintendo's intention, but I feel that I won't experience the game fully if I don't purchase this stupid amiibo.
No. The amiibos, like you don't need them. Like I spent some time without an amiibo. Well, actually, no, I haven't. But like I barely use my amiibo for Smash Bros. The amiibo is simply just to store a custom fighter that you can already store on your like regular system.
But why would they not use the cloud system? Because other games, Dragon Ball Z used to do that, but you would store it to the cloud.
Well, I don't see a point of cloud system if you can just save it all to your system.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, why would I need a plastic figurine
Well, you also got
made
to
in
think
China?
service just to hold a custom fighter.
Yeah, but it seems stupid, really. But that's not my concern, really. Because one thing I hate, it's like my pet peeve. It's like figurines in games. It's like I feel that it ruined the whole. Not Skylanders, was it Spyro series? I think Skylanders ruined that all.
Yeah, but like it isn't like a heavy focus. It's just like a thing you can do if you want. Like
Yeah, but now they're making so many more ones, and then
so like for collecting, like they all work the same way, like with some exceptions.
Yeah, but now that they're doing them for separate games, and they got Yoshi's Woolly World has some, and Mario. I'm not sure. They said Mario Kart would have support for amiibos.
No. Well, like it just adds costumes. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it only.
But you're using the Smash ones, isn't it? So you use the Smash ones in Mario Kart, and it works somehow.
Yeah, well, like it's labeled as Smash Bros, but like it can work with anything.
Oh, anything. Then what about the Mario Party ones?
Because like that's the design in Smash Bros. Like for the Kirby amiibo, for example, like you see it has like that special design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's from Smash Bros. Like they work with anything.
So
they don't work.
So it doesn't matter if I buy the Mario from Smash Brothers or if I buy the Mario from Mario Party.
Well, I think Mario Party is like a different story. Because like I don't know, Mario Party, I think you can use it the same way, but I'm not sure. Because like that's like a Super Mario series. I think it was made specifically for Mario Party 9. But like other than that, like I said, there are some exceptions. Okay. But like the Kirby one, for example, it works with both Smash Bros. And Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. And I think the Super Mario Bros. Amiibos work with Smash Bros. I think. I'm not sure. And yeah, that's basically like they work in like different ways. And like they're really nice to collect too. Like if you buy one and it's like they just look really nice on your shelf and like you really want more. I ordered like last month, I think. Yeah, it was last month. I got the Splatoon amiibos. I got like the three pack bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a Nest amiibo. And I'm waiting for that to come to my door.
But do you have Splatoon yet?
Not yet, because like they announced like functionality with it, and like the figures just looked good in general, and I wanted to get it. So Splatoon's gonna be on late May.
But Splatoon looks like an interesting game, like I said, but it's not like something I would buy a Wii U for. I think the games that I would personally buy a Wii U for is Bayonetta, because I've never played the first one, and I heard it's amazing, so I'll probably buy it on Wii U and then get the first and second.
Yeah, but I played Bayonetta right now, and it's really fun.
And what else? Bayonetta and Hyrule Warriors, because I'm a big Warriors fan, and Mario Kart 8 and Smash. That's it.
If you get Mario Kart 8, I recommend the DLC.
Of course, because they look cool. You get Link.
It's like for $11 for both of them together. You get, and there's also free Mercedes DLC you can download if you want to.
Yeah, so that Nintendo is selling out.
The game's basically 50% bigger.
Yeah, but another thing I don't like about Mario Kart 8 is the tracks are shorter compared to the Mario Kart. Was it 7? Was it 7? Not 7. Mario Kart 6. Mario Kart Wii counterpart.
They feel bigger, in my opinion.
No, I mean, like driving around the tracks, it feels shorter, as in distance wise.
I guess it's because each Mario Kart has different mechanics.
Possibly.
It feels like you just like fly, like everything just flies by.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Maybe it's just like a psychological feeling.
So, thank you for joining us, and
From
this is the end of the episode. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Get Live Podcast. I don't know when this will actually be released, but yeah. So, be sure to check out this podcast and Kunai if you really want to. Kunai is basically our new anime podcast about anime. Well, duh. And hopefully we should be getting Tyson. Tyson's on there. Kevin on there. And maybe Joe. Maybe. Haven't decided. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Yay!
Hey!